What is up, everybody? Hope you're having fun. Hope you're just relaxing out there. We're gonna talk about some comic books coming out tomorrow. Now, some of you are probably focusing on other things right now, but look at this way. This is a nice distraction from all that. All right, you can worry about the next 4 months if it goes bad, or actually not 4 years. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, there's some books coming out this week. Not a lot. If anything, there's probably the trades that are coming out are a lot cooler than what's coming out as far as the issues this week. But there's still some cool issues. With that being said, then I will share my screen. We'll take a look at some of these books here. And I noticed that Marani is just complaining about streams not being on time tonight. He did over on Extreme Movie Show, where you guys should be subscribed. And then here. I want your hands to spin like Happy Days intro. You know, if this was a video and I had some kind of thing to do that, I probably would. But there's no way I could put music to Happy Days. I will be nuked on this channel. Although I kind of want to watch Happy Days now. I don't know. I like Happy Days. Happy Days, yeah. Happy Days, and I also like Laverne and Shirley. I'm kind of like torn which one I like better. But they both have awesome episodes.
I mean, Happy Days was just more family fun friendly, I guess. Yeah, Laverne and Shirley is one of those shows that didn't get any critical acclaim whatsoever when it was out, and it seems to have aged well.
Mm-hmm. Was there more to that?
No. I'm just saying,
okay.
No, it's just because it just seemed like it was. Yeah, it's like Married with Children has aged well. People have seen through the sight gags and the obvious to get that there's a little bit more going on. I think Laverne and Shirley kind of had the same, has kind of aged the same way.
Yeah.
Happy Days, on the other hand, has not. I mean, no one's ever going to confuse that with a great show, and it didn't really try to be one. Once they made the decision to make the show about Henry Winkler, the Fonzie character, any pretense of it being a character study of the 50s went out the window, and it became, because Fonzie became a caricature. That also took Happy Days from a marginally successful show to the number one show in all of television for 2 years.
Because if it had been the Richie Cunningham show, they would have been like a knockoff Leave It to Beaver.
Kinda, but
because Leave It to Beaver was already famous for that, for being,
But it was it was, that's when it was first conceived. It was basically a half-hour dose of American Graffiti every week, and there was as much drama as comedy. But then, like I said, when they realized they had something with the Fonzie character, they made him front and center.
Yeah.
Because you already had Richie, Ralph, Potsy, and Fonzie. It gave Fonzie a family that he'd never had, and all that. So it was cotton candy television.
And then Fonzie went on to date Mrs. Cunningham.
No,
real life.
No, that's not true. Anyway,
we all saw the blooper reel. Anyway, I got 5 books this week. You have 4. I'll go with my number 5, and then you'll start with your 4, and I'll go to my 4. How's that sound? Number 5 this week, because I don't know what to make of it. If I like it or not, but it is JSA number 1. Jeff Lemire, but Jeff Lemire is known as a serious writer to me. He's always the serious indie writer. So I don't see him writing a lighthearted story. Doesn't mean he can't. I just never read one with him writing a lighthearted story.
Is this supposed to be lighthearted?
I don't know.
No.
And I kind of like Jeremy Adams' version of the JSA. To me, it was more lighthearted, more campy. Even Jeff Johns. So I don't know what to expect from a Jeff Lemire other than it's going to be might be serious, or it could just be the point where it just sucks because he just doesn't understand the concept. Who knows? Like, that's the other thing too. How much editorial interference is going to be in this because it's not Jeff Johns writing it. So, I don't know. The new era of the JSA begins here. Longtime fan favorite characters Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Jade Obsidian, Jesse Quick, Our Man, Ted Grant, and Sandman are all back in the rosters. DC's first superhero team faces against their greatest and most personal challenge yet. Will Golden Age ideals hold true in the world recovering from the events of absolute power? See right there. I don't care about absolute power. I don't want JSA touching anything of absolute power. Or they need a more hardcore approach to stand a chance against a new Injustice Society in America. I'm worried right there with this paragraph. I'm like, well, hopefully it'll be good. But that's why it's at number 5 and not anywhere higher up. I like the Goyer run of JSA. I like the Jeff Johns JSA. I even like the 90s, the 1992 one back in the day. So I don't know. It could be good or it could be bad. And why does Jeff Lemire look like an older version of Joe?
Yeah.
I just noticed that. I was like, dang.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of optimism for this, but we'll see.
Jeff Lemire is drawing his own cover. Connecting cover, so
it's actually pretty good. I think I'd take that team.
Right? The original.
Ooh, never mind. The closest. I guess these are. Yeah.
Travis Mercer foil variant, but we'll just show that regular cover here, even though it's not foil. Mm-hmm. There's the cardstock variant. I don't know, man. Like I said, hopefully it's good, but there's so many freaking covers. There's even a Sweeney Boo cardstock cover.
I don't know what a Sweeney Boo is.
Either do I. I'm just saying it's a Sweeney Boo cover.
I hear that name all the time, but I have no idea if that's a guy, a girl, a writer, an artist.
Right. What's up, Jamin? Or I'll just call you JD because I don't know how to pronounce your name correctly. I don't want to butcher it. What's up, Jay Lucian, Marania, Justin, and Brian Sam? And anyone else who's watching on here or we're watching on replay. But yeah, hopefully it's good. Like I said, we need more good looks at DC. I mean, who did they announce is working on Aquaman? Is that Jeremy Adams?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to read a JSA, but if I have to, I will go back to the original JSA and just read that. I'll go all the way back to like the JLA JSA crossovers, pre-crisis. But alrighty, so let's go to your number 4.
Cruel Universe.
Oh.
Neither one of the Oni EC books are particularly good, but this one's been consistently the better of the two.
Here it is. No, but I saw the talent. Who was writing this? I saw Matt Kint.
Yeah, Matt Kint. He did a story, I think, in the first issue.
Yeah, wasn't that great?
It was good.
No, it was good. Okay.
Yeah. So I said, I'm sure his story will be fine.
Oh, but look at this. So Cecil Castellucci.
And there goes my interest.
And Matt Bors.
I don't know who that is.
Allison Sampson from Hit Girl and Kano from Gotham Central are doing that for the. He's got Ben H. Winters from CBS Tracker. What? Tales of EC veterans Matt Kent, Berserker, and Ben H. Winters. I guess he's writing the show Tracker with Justin Hartley.
I don't know, but
So
it's
Cruel Universe.
You can't you can't do. You're not serious if you're letting Cecil Castellucci, write for your books. You're just not.
It is called Cruel Universe.
Yeah. But it's not called Cruel to the Fans in your universe. Now I'm sorry, she's a shit writer.
Yes. Here's this cover. Homage cover.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Jay Stevens. Then here's the Kano cover. What the heck? Oh, it's the election. That's what it is. I just realized that. Is that Kamala Harris on the left?
I don't know.
Looks like an inauguration thing. The best cover is the main cover though. But it's not cool because they have cloud blobs on it though.
I think the best one's the Weird Science homage.
Really?
But
you like yellow?
Oh yes, because that's good. But the other one, is better for me because I love, because that one, if you've read a bunch of DC or EC, you know exactly what they're. It's got the same logo and everything, but the main cover is very good also.
See, the main cover reminds you of like something you'd see like a Starship Troopers running around, screaming as the alien, the big giant monsters attacking. But yeah, all right, I'll go to my number 4. And hello, Jackson. Jackson says, may not be around later when you get the trades. I'm looking hard at the DC Finest Year 1 and 2 and the Batman First Night hardcover. Batman Year 1, Year 2 is the Frank Miller books collected in one thing. But let's see here. Let's go to my number 4. My number 4 is a little more lighthearted. It's not as weird. Brand new number 1 coming out through Dynamite. I'm gonna scroll down for it because I guess for whatever reason, but DuckTales number 1 is that far down. And no, it's not Jason Aaron, so I'm happy for that. Not a huge Jason Aaron fan, even though apparently DuckTales was good over Marvel. I don't know. It says ridiculously wealthy Scrooge McDuck and his most famous resident of Duckburg, but his fortune goes far beyond mere currency. To his not only enough, his Uncle Scrooge is a rich in something more important than any money stories. Or let's see here. Does it actually give you an actual synopsis? 3 boys are about to learn the most valuable items Scrooge McDuck is in his locked up in his absurdly capacious money bin. It's the lifetime of wisdom he's got stockpiled inside his head. Brandon Montclair from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur and Rocket Girl. I know, right? When I saw Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, I said, yes, this is what I need. Artist Tommaso Ronda from Kayla. Never heard of it. Or Kalia. Uncover a vein of solid gold adventures. DuckTales number 1, burnished by $1 billion covers from Ivan Bigarella, Francesco Tomaselli, and Carlo Loro and Alan Qua. A lot of covers. I mean, a lot of covers. I'm still going. Look at this. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I enjoyed the Darkwing Duck. I don't share the political beliefs or side or all that stuff with alliance with what the other writer was. I think it was Amanda Dearbert, but the story was good. So I'm assuming that this person will do the same because Dynamite's been really good about that. I think the last time I read a book that I didn't like was the Scarlet Sisters, Alex Aguirre. That was like 2 years ago. But since then, I don't think I picked up a bad Dynamite book unless it's unless it's a Red Sonja book, but it's not the Torrin Grunbeck one. It's the one by Dan Panosian. But anyway, that is my number 4 for this week. Where are we going for number 3, sir?
JSA. I didn't put it any higher because I'm that one person that's never really read any Jeff Lemire, so I don't know what to expect, and I'm
Still
just kind of
Angels.
like inching back into DC a little bit.
Yeah.
Although I'm just absolutely, absolutely sick of the people that work there. Almost, yeah. Jeremy Adams notwithstanding. Gee, ugh. Anyway, maybe this will be good. I mean, I'm hoping it'll be good because I really I miss not reading superhero comics.
I hear you.
And I realize that they're not ever going to be the way I remember them. I mean, it's a new style or they're new rules. But it's still, it's just, I said it. I miss it. Just reading that issue of Green Lantern. It was kind of fun again.
You got especially because he has a special crossover that he did.
Well, it was a freaking superhero.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's superheroes that I grew up with. I mean, not to say that other companies can't create good superheroes, but there really aren't any in the Millerverse. There aren't any at Ghost Machine. The miniseries that I buy are never superhero related. So it's just
the one we've been reading, Teen Titans Go, has been like much more entertaining than a lot of the books.
Yeah, those are fun to read out loud. I would never read one on my own.
I've read them before, by myself. They're just fun. I enjoy them.
And this is not a knock by any stretch. Yeah. You like that stuff way more than I do.
You know why? The reason I like it because I'm the same reason why I like collecting DuckTales from the original back in the day, the Dell stuff. I love the silliness. We read Donald Duck story about him being a sheriff.
Well, I can read that stuff all day long, but I have no interest in the new stuff.
I read the Goyer one with JSA. So I mean, like Jeff Johns. How could he get any better than that? That's what I want to know.
Well, if you go into that with that mindset, then stop reading DuckTales, because how's it ever going to be as good as Carl Barks? You take what you get, and if it works for you, you keep reading. That's really all you can do, because there's.
I've done that. I've actually been stopping books. Like I said, when I pick up a book and I enjoy this way more, why am I getting this other book? I've dropped the issues. Like you said, I was reading the Ultimates, the new one, and I realized I'm just buying this just to review it. I'm not really enjoying it. I'm paying $6 or whatever. I said no more.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, if you ever find yourself buying books just for content for the channel,
don't.
Because I won't do that. Yeah, thanks to this channel, I've gotten interested in some stuff again, but that unfortunately does not. It doesn't translate to anything at Marvel other than Ultimate Spider-Man.
Like, my tastes have changed over the years. I really have since I started in 2003. I started reading comic books. I started with Spider-Man, and then I got into Thor, Captain America, and then I started dabbling into like just JSA, Stargirl, all that stuff. And then, like I said, by 2019, I went over to did more Josh Williams Flash, Jeremy Adams, and then I just realized, man, all the stuff that I have read, it's I'd rather just go. There's so much in the back, before all this, that's so much better. And there's very few and far between books that are coming out through Marvel DC that I care to read. I love the Jerry Evans books. That's been one of the bright beacons, as for new books coming out for DC. Jed McKay has been okay. And I'm saying he's the best, but I mean, he's been keeping me interested with Doctor Strange. I'm not a huge Doctor Strange fan. Doctor Strange is when he's a side character in a Spider-Man book. Because Spider-Man was always the main character for me. He had guest stars. So that's how I treated the Avengers. They were guest stars when they showed up in his book. You know.
Okay, I'm in a little better mood now.
Why did Jackson leave?
No. No. See, this isn't antagonistic. That Ted Cruz won, so that's
yeah.
So I said, no matter what happens tonight, I think the Republicans have the Senate. If that is
whatever happens, they'll celebrate with a pizza party. Okay.
I want pizza.
I know, right? You can order it, have it delivered.
Yeah, I already ate, but if not, I'd yeah, I always want pizza though.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So JSA, hope for the best. Like I said, I want to get back up to reading several titles a month. I wish I could read Spider-Man or Captain America or Thor or the Avengers, but they're not good. X-Men, not good.
No.
And I'm not saying that doesn't mean that other people whose tastes I respect and whose opinions I value would disagree. May disagree on some or all of those. It's just when you've been reading for 50 years, there's that's why I treasure the things that I do like after reading for 50 years.
Yep.
Because it's just, but most of the superhero content just doesn't work anymore.
So Jeff Lemire has dabbled in everything. Remember he did that one with Hawkeye? Yeah.
He's done a couple of well, like I said, I can't stand this version of Hawkeye. I don't care who's writing it.
Ascender was his other one he did. Yeah, that's the one that was.
And Black Hammer, I think, is his.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Black Hammer.
Oh, he's what are they? What's that phrase the kids use? He has bona fides. Not sure if I said that right, but he's based. He's a very well respected. Oh no, he's not based. He's a far left loon, but he's definitely an accredited, respected comic book writer.
Constantine, the New 52. I remember reading that. Yeah, like I said, he writes like serious stuff like this. Like I can't see him doing it's like Cyrus Spurrier and Flash. I don't think it's a good match.
Oh, Brian, don't. Wait till they give up on the Straczynski experiment and go to somebody new, or go in the back issue bins and read some Mark Grunwald or any of the older stuff, or Brubaker. Yeah, the Straczynski cap is not good. I dropped it after 3 issues.
I made it back. Just like Ta-Nehisi Coates. I made it up to 6 issues.
Yeah.
I was like, Ta-Nehisi Coates, like, oh, why is everybody hating this? I got 6 issues, and I realized, that's why.
I can't imagine that somebody said that the people that died on 9/11, the first responders that died on 9/11, deserved it. I can't understand how he wouldn't be a pro-American Captain America writer. I'm stunned.
Right. Anyway, all right, that was your number 4 or 3, right?
3, yes, right? Number 3.
So mine, we just gotta scroll down, probably forever. We're gonna go over the Titan Comics. We're gonna go to a new issue of when we get to it. Scrolling down forever. Conan, Battle of the Black Stone. Yes, this is Conan the Barbarian teaming up with, Solomon Kane. Yeah. What? Yeah, it's happening. All right. So, epic new comic Conan event from Hero Signatures and Titan Comics begins here. From Jim Zub, Conan the Barbarian, Dungeons and Dragons, artist Jonas Scharf, Dark X-Men and Ballistic. So, pretty much, like I said, this is an interesting team. They've been through space and time. Usually, Chaos does. Dynamite would do this with Chaos books. Okay.
Yeah. Some made me laugh.
Oh, Brian. Yep, Battle of the Blackstone. Like I said, so basically, we got the girl who basically was the very first arc of Conan, Jim Zub's Conan series that was teaming up with them. Spoiler, she did not make it through that arc. She died, but through time and space, they are reunited again. Conan and basically the girl he had sex with, and basically he moved on because she died. Now that she's alive again. And then you got this girl, she's like a thief from like the 15th century or something like that, 14th century, and a few others, and Solomon Kane, all forced together, go after this monster that's basically hunting them down through time. And it can kill them. It doesn't have to kill them in the present. It can go any point in their time, like when they're a kid or whatever, and kill them if it wants to. Like I said, it's an interesting story. I've never really seen Conan doing a crossover event unless it's like with like Red Sonja. Like this is interesting. Solomon Kanon's like it's just out of nowhere, like Randy Orton. All right, but that is going for it's 32 pages for $3.99. If you do like Conan Barbarian, I do recommend you do pick this up. Doug Braithwaite is usually on the main book, but he's taking a break now. So man, but this is a whole new series though. We got the main story, and then we got this other side event story going on, and then there's the Conan Seven Sword of Conan magazine they're doing. Titan's really going after it as far as like basically the sales. So, alrighty.
Okay, go back to that page.
What page?
Where Conan was.
Oh, hold on a second then. What about him?
Well, I said because mine's right. My number 2 is right next to it.
Okay. I think you said your number 2 is Conan. That's why I was confused.
No. That's it.
I gotta scroll down.
Just trying to save you some scrolling.
Oh, well, I have to scroll the other way. Kill all immortals.
Yes, sir.
You mean it's not Brainiac versus Creatures of Commandos?
Yes, I understand that you've already read it and loved it, so
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to this. So far, it's been a fun action romp. I really not much more than that, but I'm looking forward to seeing if they can do something in the last 2 issues to separate it from. Not to say that that's not a good formula, but you know, if there's some kind of twist that I can't foresee, this could end up being a truly memorable.
So the Viking never vacates its fight. Wicked horrors and all for only true warriors enter Valhalla. Armed with the shocking truth about her family's immortality, Frey questions her lack of agency in her family's past. But when she is trapped by her father and faces the ultimate test, to sacrifice her lover's life over her freedom. Like you said, this pulled the carpet on her from underneath because I did something I did not expect, and was really what made it awesome. I like Zach Kaplan. Zach Kaplan wrote, I believe it's called Eclipse. Another good story, a little 6-issue miniseries, either 6 or 12. But that was fun.
Now I'm interested because maybe you just, maybe you just gave away that maybe something does happen to separate this. So I'm looking forward to this.
I did. So all I did was read this, sir. I did not give away anything.
But you said there was a twist. That's what I've been waiting for. Maybe it'll be the one I'm looking for. So we'll see. But I don't know what that is.
Twist like we did last summer. Twist again.
I never thought I'd say this, but I miss Geeky.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We have.
Hello, is this still on?
I will clip that for you, because you just said that live while recording.
I'd rather you didn't.
Like he's gonna pop up in the chat. He's like, I know you like me.
They really like me.
Oh, right. Going to my number 2 for this week, which is another book we have. Because I'm curious if that was your number 2, right? Yeah.
I liked what you said in Sports Ball the other day. Oh, look, Superman's meeting his father again for the first time. Jesus God.
Yeah, they're talking about that. Jay's like, how many times he met his father? He's like, well, once a year. Comic books, because everybody forgets.
Who's writing that mess?
Probably Jason Aaron.
Well, I think it was Gail Simone was the last issue.
I mean, but I think
Aaron's like it's coming out like once a week now too.
Mark Waid, Margarito Tamaki. So looks like
that's like having like a Lamborghini as like Mark Waid,
and then having cake inside it,
and then Marika Tamaki's like putting regular gasoline in it. Yeah.
I put the green one in that. No,
lawnmower gasoline.
This diesel. Yeah, yep. They don't even tell you who's doing which story though. That's what's bad about it. It's like so. All right. Well, number 2. Scroll down. It's I have an error on my page. What the hell about? All right, scroll down more. One more time. Also, those who are collecting the Walking Dead Deluxe, first appearance Negan in color.
Wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful, isn't it? It's some kind of. All right, I heard that.
No,
the whistle in the background.
Oh no, so that was the channel I'm watching the game on is completely frozen, but the audio kept moving. That's the problem.
I'm trying to think what that whistle's from because I know it's. I watched. Is it Old Spice, right?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't watched commercials in probably about a year. I don't watch live TV. So I was like, I know that whistle has been
right. Yeah, that's because you don't watch sports. That's the only reason why I know any commercials is because that's all I watch.
They used to play that all the time when I watched Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
Old Spice commercials always.
Huh.
But
that's the most desired places to advertise now are sports and things like wrestling because people will actually watch them live.
The last time I watched Raw or was probably like 2018. It's been a while. I dip in every once in a while, but it doesn't hold my interest. I didn't know that Braun Breaker was basically like the nephew of Scott Steiner. Rob told me that.
Yeah, he's Rob Rick Steiner's son. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, this is my number 2 for this week. Rogues Gallery. Nemesis and his sidekick, the Rookie, are toast of the town in their billionaire secret identities, drinking champagne all day and robbing people all night. But our authority is getting closer to finding out who they really are. And as we saw what happened last issue for the guys messed up, they thought they could come across Nemesis and Rookie, but turns out it was a billionaire cosplaying, and they killed him. So now it's just like, now they're fucked. So, and it comes in black and white form too. So, sorry. And it's lettered by, as always, our great friend Dr. Silver. Alrighty though. Did you see that? Was it last week? Mark Millar interviewed hit the guy he got his first comic book from, comic store.
No,
he just. I think that was he mentioned something like that on Twitter. He was gonna be interviewing a comic book store where he lived. So it's been a while since I watched his stuff, but yep, that is my number 2 for this week.
You can leave it right there because obviously that's my number 1.
Nice.
And now we can move on to your number 1.
All right. I'll go back to my number one, which is right next to your number one. Which is Kill Immortals. Um, Obviously, this is the one I read last week, and that's why it's my number one, because I don't know about the other ones, but I know that this one, I really love this issue. We read Nightclub, and like I said, that was an all that's Nightclub. What they did in that book is probably like the if we had a vote for a category, if we do the Spirit Awards over at East Channel again, I love comics category where comic book does something that you never expected to do, and like that category, no, and that category would be Nightclub, and so would Kill Immortals. Those books are, like I said, are fun. Both have twists. Yeah. Other than that, though, uh, sheer mayhem. Uh, People thought they had dysfunctional families over politics. Kill Immortal says, hold our mead. Yeah, this basically immortal Vikings who I thought originally were aliens, but they're not aliens. They just came across that in the other. They said the other issue. I had to reread again. It's Spaceship. So, and Zach Kaplan is just proven to be one of my favorite writers writing books out. And I'm not a Dark Horse fan whatsoever when it comes to comic books. I really don't read anything by them, but that's out. Oh, and also for those, I heard Mark Silvestri he drew a page. They're doing a new spinoff series of Witchblade, the one that's currently out right now, because Jackie Acicado, whatever his name is going to be appearing in Witchblade number 7, and he's getting his own series after that.
Bring back the darkness.
Yes, the darkness is coming back with a whole new series through Top Cow. Which I'm like, yay, because I'm like, he mentions like, oh, they're gonna go on a date. I'm like, no, I don't want that. Like, I'm just tired of that. No, that was a forced pairing. It's horrible. But anyway, that's it for this week for that. Let's go over the trades.
Well, the whole idea behind the Witchblade and the darkness was they were star-crossed lovers who could never be together. Blah blah blah.
I saw that. It's called Hancock.
Well, that's not the first time. That wasn't the first time either.
Yeah, Frank Miller and Mazzucchelli. This is the book that Jackson was talking about. It loads. Be collected, yes. We all know the story after attending a late night movie screening, one April 9, Gotham City.
Gotham City!
Young Bruce Wayne's parents were gunned down in a senseless act of violence. This tragedy inspired Bruce to travel the world. You guys know the story, blah, blah, blah. Now, in his early years before he befriended an honest cop named James Gordon, as Bruce begins his crusade at a city that has forgotten the meaning of justice in Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli's groundbreaking year 1, and in Mike Barr and Alan Davis's year 2. Batman considers quitting his crime-fighting career when he meets his charity worker, Rachel, Caspian, or Caspian, I don't know. But the reappearances of the Reaper, Gotham's original vigilante, will force Bruce to choose between his own desires and what the city needs. So it collects DC's finest Batman Year 1 and 2 covers for the Dark Knight's adventures after DC's Comics Crisis on Infinite Earth continued reset from November 1986 to 1987. So this is a Batman from 401 through 412 with annual number 11, and Detective Comics 568 through 579. $40 for 632 pages. And normally you would say, yeah, I don't, if it's modern stuff, this is good. This is what you need. Batman Year 1 and Year 2. So I think it's worth it. Alrighty then. No rebuttal, no response.
Oh no, I said this would be a nice thing to have if you don't have either of those. That's
Holy crap! Your friend Bats. That's a manga.
hey,
Is that manga Bats? Or
Jared.
yeah,
Good to see you. I got used to watching your videos again. Where are they? I haven't seen one in a week.
nice. What's up, bro? And the parasocial audience. I haven't seen that guy in forever.
Bats. Do you have a way to do you have stuff to yeah? Do you have a way to come on? I'd love to have him on for a few minutes.
I'd have to send him a link.
Yeah.
But,
Are you in a place where you come on if we send you a link?
I don't know.
Well, I'm waiting for his response.
I know, right? Lost connection. I can't right now, okay?
Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to come on one of these weeks. We need to catch up.
Yep. You're more than welcome. If you're still reading comic books, we meet on Thursday nights.
Have you seen any of his comeback videos?
I have not seen his comeback.
He's so nice and friendly now. It's almost frightening.
Wait, he's your and friendly Bats?
Yes, he's our and friend Bats.
Like I said, like more than welcome to come on the channel. He says like I love talking comic books, man. That's all we do here. You know, no drama, none of that stuff. It's just straight comic books. Whether we're talking about your back issues, which are on Thursday, because Thursday nights, well, you know that you should know the spiel. We do the best of the weeks on Thursday nights. We do it around 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're still in California, obviously that's going to be around like 6 p.m. Pacific. And basically, we just comic haul. That's all it is. Whatever you picked up that week, whether it's new books or old books you picked up, show them off.
Yeah, one of his videos was a detailed explanation for why he liked the Zdarsky Batman run, and he kind of laid it out almost like a court case,
like the full run, or just the
and then like you broke it up by story arcs.
Because I said when it comes to Zdarsky, I liked the first run, like the failsafe. But then it just went off the rails for me and just became like a Grant Morrison love letter. And like, if you like Grant Morrison, you probably like it. I mean, I guess I'm not a huge Grant Morrison fan, so
I didn't read the series, so I mean, it was interesting the way like all the callbacks he mentioned and things like that, and
yeah.
So yeah, it was I said his videos have been enjoyable to watch.
Hey. Imperial Goddess in the chat. Like everybody who doesn't watch his channel is like, "Hey, I'm alive here."
That's weird. I saw Just Pele in E's chat.
Wow,
it's like all the old folks are coming back.
It's because I guess it's election day, and we'll see them next election day. I don't know.
Yeah, I just see Pele occasionally on. Yeah, in a chat group that I got put in about 6 years ago. That, but yeah, see, I mean, occasional tweets, but
usually you don't see them until the 4th of July. Where do bad folks go when they die? Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So like I said, I said obviously I don't agree on everything, and Erica doesn't agree on anything as far as book stuff. You know, I like books that.
Oh, he said, okay, now he said, send me a link.
Oh, all right. Well, Eric, you don't do that. Do you have him on Twitter?
I don't know how to do that.
You don't know how to do that.
I don't.
One of these days we got.
Jared, we won't be. We're only going to be here for about 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, we're pretty much wrapping up.
Next Tuesday, 9:00. Yeah, if you can,
Eastern.
Love to have you on.
Yeah. So 6 p.m. Pacific. If you're still in, I don't know if you're still in California or wherever you are now, but yep, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Same Bats time.
That's channel.
That's what I did there.
Wait, so we can replace one good-looking dude with another good-looking dude? We'll get rid of Zach and we'll just have Bats?
All right, then. Yeah. Bats, if you're still buying books, We do the top 5. We do our best of on Thursdays. If you want to guest on that,
Yeah,
that would also work.
cool. But yeah, like I said, like this Batman's World's Finest. If you do not have this or never read before, it's a great way to collect it. I was kind of hoping they'd do like a compact version, but I guess there's a lot of story in order to put in just a DC compact. But those are really good, like the $10 compacts. Marvel's now going to do their $15 ones, same size, I guess. They just want to charge you $5 more. But all right. I don't know anything about this Teen Titans Starfire thing. Never heard of that. Cami Garcia. I'm guessing that's young.
Yeah, I could not care less.
Is that the bad one? Okay.
No, that's I Am Not Starfire. That's Marika Tamaki.
As I was wondering, is it on that level? Because
no, but like I said, I don't. Yes, it is, Jared.
Yep. Batman First Night, dude. That's another good story. If you have not picked it up, down like the hardcover now. Originally it was 3 magazines, and it is just awesome. Dan Jurgens proves that he's still one of the top writers at DC.
Cool.
Plus, you got Mike Perkins art on there too, right? Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Hard Traveling Heroes Omnibus. I'm guessing that's the Neil Adams one.
No, that's the when they brought it back in 1976. I think O'Neill was writing. Mike Grell was the artist initially. They are going to collect that.
Entire saga.
Okay, the cover threw me out. The cover is from the 76 revival.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is the older stuff.
Denny O'Neill, yeah.
Oh, Green Lantern. Hard Traveling Heroes. I should have. Yeah, but that is a misleading cover because I said I think that's the cover from issue 91 or 92.
Cover artist is Neil Adams. Yeah. We got Mike Grell on Neil Adams. Cool. I've noticed that this. We've talked about this for the past couple months now. We've talked about since July. We said like, what's with all these cool trades coming out? Like, we may not agree with the event, the current comic books, but there's a lot of cool omnibus and trades. All the Elseworlds are dropping now. So, this collects Green Lantern 76 through 387, 89 through 123, World's Finest, Comics 201, Stories from Brave and the Bold 100, DC Special Series number 1, DC Retroactive Green Lantern, the 70s 1. DC Superstar 17, The Flash 217 through 224, 226 through 228, 230 through 231, 233, 234, 237 through 238. I'm not gonna read all that. It's way too much. Maybe you can read it since you voiced the Kid Flash. Includes nearly 2,000 never before collected issues. Wow. Hundreds of pages of stories never been before collected in a color and extensive bonus gallery. And a brand new introduction by Mike Grell. Honestly, if this is DC's attempt to say, like, all those books we never collected, we're actually going to start collecting them now for you. Like, that's good for me. It's like, because I know Bats was talking about the couple years we're talking about they'll collect like a volume 1 of something, but they'll not collect the second volume in trade. When it comes to collections, it just sucks. Marvel's got the same problem too. Marvel will start like the epics, and then they'll start over within like 2 years. It's like instead of completing the whole entire collection.
Well, that's a hell of a collection now.
$125, not bad. And then plus in stock trades, save 40% off.
Yeah, I'm sure like the flashes that are popping up there. Green Lantern after the Green Lantern Green Arrow series was canceled.
80 stories.
It became a backup feature in the Flash.
So there's 80 stories in this. That's a lot.
Well, I said a lot of them are, a lot of 8-pagers.
Yeah, ain't that bad. The Warrior in the wheelchair. Yep. But it's the cover with Batman. Everybody's in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
The guy's gonna kill him. Or is it Batman?
No, it is. But yeah, but you can tell it's a Bob Haney story because they taped him up over his uniform.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't want anybody to know he's Bruce Wayne. That's Bendis' job. All right.
Wow, so there've been 22 epic collections of Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep.
Wow.
There you go. Let's find us another one. I said all these little like DC Finest books are coming out. So, and then Invincible, I guess this is the new manga format one they're doing for $15. And then it makes Spider-Man, Web of Life, Wildcats, Compendium. So there's Elseworlds, there's a Punisher Max, but we can skip this one. I don't need to read Jason Aaron.
At that time, I'm sure it was fine because I don't remember disliking any of them.
I just don't like his style of writing, even when he's not writing like the bad stuff. Like I said,
I didn't mind him before. Like when he was writing
the Thor God Butcher, I hated that story.
No, I was gone by then. Yeah. The Jason Aaron, most of what he was writing in like the 2005, 2011 window was okay.
Yep.
But something happened to him because there's a lot of them. I mean, Kelly Sue DeConnick did a really nice Sif run in Journey into Mystery. Matt Fraction did a great Iron Man run. It's like they all once they went from what they were doing to all new, all different. It's like they took their talent and put it away.
Right. Greg Rucka, Batwoman.
Greg Rucka, another example.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Although he never wrote for Marvel, but
no, but like I said, I like his DC Rebirth. Wonder Woman was good. The Batwoman stories he was writing were good too. I know issues with that. Looks like Rom's coming out. Another this is the third hardcover omnibus. I was looking at this, so this is what I've been collecting though. Little Mighty Marvel Masterworks, Volume 5 is coming out. So,
wow, that's cheesy. To be an Avenger, you know what that is?
Yeah.
Where he tries to. It was in Spider-Man Annual number 3, where the Avengers try to recruit him, and his assignment is to capture the Hulk.
Yeah.
So that's one 20-page story in that whole thing, but that's what
Hey, like I said, it's $16. Ain't that bad?
I just think it's funny the way it's listed.
Yeah. To be an Avenger. Yeah. John Romita Sr. Variant versus this one. This is I guess is the Mike Cho one.
Yeah. Like I said, that Spider-Man 39, I almost got that the last show I went to, but someone had colored in Peter Parker's face, and that was my deal breaker. It was only $50, but
what I know because you wouldn't go for that Daredevil either, right?
No.
when they colored in the costume.
I mean, it was. I almost didn't recognize it at first. I said, I'm getting it. I go, oh. And then I ended up getting 134 instead, which is a hideously overpriced book, but it was in affordable condition.
So, have you seen any trades yet?
Not yet. No, but I've got. I mean, I have 800 trades.
I mean, if you decided you want to have a few outside of the one location, you could trot up the stairs. You want to start everywhere. If you want to start a living room collection.
I have a living room collection. I have a side room collection. I have an upstairs collection.
So you're just making a library out of your
Can't get to the side room right now because the second light bulb burned out, so it's pitch black in there.
Jeez.
It just went out tonight.
So it's sort of Conan right there. Yep, on the best coming out. $50. Like I said, there's a lot of cool trades coming out. There's Marvel or DC, and then they also got Titan throwing out these old Conan ones because they have the license now. And then if you're into, I guess, manga, there's a lot of manga coming out too as well. Grant Morrison, Dan Moore on Claws. collection, Lifetimes of Santa Claus. Ninjak. I can't believe that's still coming out. So I've never even heard of Alien books before too, but apparently it's a new publisher, and they're working for Valiant. It's a new Darkwing Duck collecting. And then here's the other version. Wow, there's how many freaking covers they're gonna have for Conan? 4 now. And this is probably a modern book. It looks space western comics, cowboy versus aliens, commies and dinosaurs and Nazis. It looks old, but I mentioned that's probably a new book. Avengers Twilight, which I heard was pretty decent. Ghostbusters Back in Town. Story was decent. Art sucked.
Jared, if you're still here, was that Superman text I got from you? Yes, Henry, that's the one.
Tarantula. Yep. Guy with the cloud shoes. And we're getting into manga. Savage Dragon. The Vault Edition, Volume 1 hardcover. Yep. Usually I filter out all the manga because, well we're more Marvel, DC, indie stuff, but I figure why not leave it in. But yeah, like you said, for trades, I'm looking at the Experiment, little Masterworks one, and then also maybe the Elseworlds Batman. I never read any of those, but it's a great way to collect them especially if you're trying to find them, you're missing one, or if you're just a new reader and you just want to read the Elseworlds stories, they're already collected for you, so you have to go and search for them. Web of Life, Web of Death, fun series. It's part of the Clone Saga. So, but Superman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, the Batman First Night, definitely recommend those, and the Batman Year 1 and 2. And avoid Ultimate X-Men because it's not X-Men whatsoever. It's just Miracle Tamaki. Peach Momoko, just drawing a story about armor, but it's a self-insert though. So, but that is it though for this week for comic books. Yeah, quite a few out this week actually. So I'm looking forward to actually picking up Nemesis, Rogues Gallery, along with the other one we're talking about was JSA. Curious to see exactly what they're going to do with that, because anything can go horribly bad with or the retconning things, or Jeff Lemire can keep it in the spirit of Wade Johnson's writing it and just keep it respectful and actually just give a damn about the characters and give us new stories. And I'm curious because will they have Stargirl in any of these JSA books at all, or is she off the table now because Jeff Johns not there? Like I don't know what his deal with her character. You know, if he owns the rights to that character and they can't use it without him. So anyway, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's good. Tomorrow's gonna be a no EC reprints. No, I know the fourth Fantagraphics Atlas collection's coming soon, so it's nice to have a nice inexpensive week at the old comic shop.
It is, because I'm just scared to see what's coming out the following week to see because usually when I don't have that many books, the next couple of weeks are like, now you have 20 when I only had 5 this week.
Yeah, I think there's like 7 or 8 I counted for next week. And I'll believe you and I when I see it.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you about that. You and I was coming out the next week, but that keeps getting pushed back.
Well, I asked Joe about that. I think AWA is in trouble.
Yeah, we'll find out because
I think they might be going to almost all digital or something and they're probably just putting this out to finish it. But you notice there haven't been anything new coming from them for a couple months.
It makes sense because when Erratic came out, not many people were talking about it. I think Ash was the only one who was saying, "I love this book." I did not see anybody else on other channels talking about Erratic and saying how this is a great book. I just see people picking it up, taking to the counter and buying it.
Well, there's a lot of. I mean, there were a handful of really good series from them, but there's a lot of competition out there right now. And also, like I said, when
it's hard to compete against the big two because people are still in droves.
No, you're only half right. It's harder when the big two aren't producing the kind of work that gets more people in the stores in the first place.
Sure. But the people that are there are picking up the X-Men. They're picking up their Marvel. They're picking up dear God, they're picking up Spider-Man still.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of spending your money on the popular titles that currently aren't running the good stories, put it on something that's actually worth your money. But then again, like I said, other people have different tastes, which I respect. If you like Zeb Wells' Spider-Man, I think that there's something wrong with you. But hey, that's your prerogative. They're buy it. If you're happy, you're spending your money, But I can't support a company when they basically want to put out a book that says, hey, we're never going to put Peter and MJ back together again on the main book. I said, once Ultimate Spider-Man's gone from Marvel, there isn't anything really there holding the other, maybe Moon Knight. But how long will Moon Knight before Jed McKay gets kicked off of that?
The only way that ever changes is if they run Nick Lowe. That's a start.
Nick Lowe needs to be fired.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure it'll happen.
No.
With Brevoort and around, even though he's not Spider-Man editor, but it seems to be a company-wide edict for whatever reason. And like I said, doing things to spite fans. Because like I said, Spider-Man doesn't sell 100,000 copies anymore.
No, it doesn't.
That should never, even in today's.
My shop owner praises the Wolverine book going on right now. I'm thinking he likes the certain things, it's like, I'm thinking like X-Men stuff. He's like, it's been great and stuff, and like, and I'm thinking like, really? And like, because he will not lie to me. He will not say something that's good to try to get me to buy it stuff. He's straightforward and all of that. And I just like, I don't understand how you can like that. I said, I'm reading the older X-Men book, and I'm just like, if you read Claremont, and he's like, well, that's what he says. He doesn't like Claremont, and I'm like, yeah, that's why you like the new stuff.
Well, yeah, I don't get recommendations from my comic shop because nobody there reads comics.
That's the other thing too about new comic book stores. It's like the other one, the big box store. They have 6 or 4 people. Sometimes they have like 6 people there, and that's employees. And they don't really. It don't seem like the ones even really read the comic books at all. They're just there. It's for a paycheck.
Well, the one I used to work for, they are more into
manga.
The manga, the games, the whatnot, and
Well, my thing is, if you're gonna run a comic book store, it's like having a video game store, like EB Games and GameStop. Have somebody who actually plays the games and can relate to a customer.
Wouldn't hurt. Man, it is monsooning wherever this game is I'm watching.
Well, right now it is 76 in my room and 57 outside because I have my door closed. It's been a weird weather up here where I live, and like I said, it's November 5th.
I think it's
the temperature should not be 57 outside right now. It should be somewhere around 37. I don't understand it. I mean, I'm thankful that I don't have snow, but we're going to have rain for the next couple days. But I remember last year we had snow on Halloween. So, hey, what's up, Glinzer? saying, thanks for not doing an election day special like 95% of the streamers, man. Honestly, I don't want to talk politics at all today because it feels like we've been doing that for the past actually longer than that. Since January, we've been talking about politics and where we go, and I just don't care anymore. I voted, and that's it. I'll wait till tomorrow to see what happens. Talking about it is not going to make anybody feel better about it. I can just worry about it, but I prefer just chilling, having talking about things that I like. I don't want to talk about politics. But anyway, guys, I'm so shocked it's not freezing for you. I'm shocked that I was having like 70 days and she was having like her lows are like colder than I was. Yeah, I can't. I can't give Ingledew the same super chat because he's part of the 95%. Hey, but that's what he wants. He's passionate about it, though. Like I said, I can't fault him for that. It's just I'm with you though. I'm burnt out. I just want to talk about things that make me happy. Like let me like bury my head in the sand for at least about a couple hours and just relax. I mean tonight a lot of people were talking about following the debates or not debates, but the election. Crowder was doing it too. He had 81,000 people were watching him over on YouTube. I was just like 81,000 people. I'm like, I should get into politics, man. Seems like a great grift. No, but Amazing Spider-Man 147 and 151 are both listed as John Romita covers, but they are Gil King covers, inked by Romita. Trust me, I know. Henry, I get a feeling you are knowledgeable when it comes to comic books because you like the. You right there, Breen?
Yeah, I got something caught my throat.
Oh. But yeah, like I said, Henry seems like one of those guys. He's knowledgeable, like you can just like talk about pulling a book and like, yep, start talking about it. I said I'm not like that. I'm like I gotta like. If it's a book I recently read, I gotta go over flip through it again. I'm like, especially when we were doing remember we used to do those retrospectives on the channel. I always had to like read it, like reread it, like okay, I'm flipping through it. It's like, okay, that's what happened because unless it's something I really enjoyed, I don't retain it. Even then, it's like if there's every single detail on it, I've been getting better. Like movies or TV show reviews, Rob and I do, like Extreme Movie Channel. Like I start to I figure out where it goes and I put out I write out like a little like a summary, like a little storyboard on a piece of paper and I write down the key issues what I think it is, key parts. Henry says I'm a back issue guy, not bought modern comics in like 30 to 35 years. I tapped out after the spectacular market crash. I don't blame you, man. I was out after you probably wouldn't know this, but like Siege, which was like 2012, 2011. So, please repeat my question. I don't see that. I don't remember what my question was. I was just saying, I when it comes to Henry, you remind me of Eric a little bit. Like you are knowledgeable when it comes to like older comic book issues. You know, like the artists, the writers and stuff. Where I'm just like, that cover looks cool.
Oh, I can definitely tell that Henry knows what he's talking about.
Exactly, and like I said, I'm already a little imitate a little bit.
Intimidated.
Like, yeah, see, exactly.
You're intimidated if you can't even say the word.
Exactly. I'm choking on my words here.
That's weird because Graphic Man, pretty much. That's about the era where he tapped out for good. The few of the other guys are still like Han still gets a couple new things. Rod still gets a couple new things. Yeah. Ken does, but I don't think anybody like any of the other. I'm probably the closest thing to a consistent reader of new stuff out of the fossils, and I wouldn't really call myself that consistent because I'm pretty much, like I said, gone from 99.9% gone from Marvel and about 90% gone from DC.
I hear you. I mean, whenever I watch Rod on Saturday mornings, I'm like, between him and Shannon, you tell that Shannon knows more about certain things than Rod does. And I always get a kick out of it because Rod's like, he's so humble. He's like, yeah, he's like, I don't know these. I don't. He talks about you, Brain. He's like, I wish I had that memory, but I don't.
Oh God,
It's
Shannon went to the Richmond Comic and Toy Fair over the weekend.
yeah.
Found a $2 bin with a bunch of issues of All American Men of War
Wow.
from the mid '60s. $2 each. I was. It's rare that I'm always happy for what other people get. That was like, oh my God, I wish I'd been there. I would have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would. Listen, if I saw a box like that at a show, that might be the only box I need to look through, because those are $10-$20 books in that condition, and he was blowing them out for $2.
Maybe the guy had too many of them, and he didn't care at the point. He just wanted to get rid of them. He probably thought,
Probably was.
yeah.
Because I have about 3 issues of All American Men of War. I would love to have more of them,
Like
but
tomorrow,
I never see them in that kind of condition.
like tomorrow, I'm gonna go and get that Donald Duck Christmas Parade thing if they still have it. They had like 6 copies. The guy said, so I'm gonna go look at them. So now you wanted one. It said I've been gladly picking up the old Dell books from 1947 49. Like I said, I got that Adventures of Captain Marvel Adventures. That was like from 1947. I couldn't believe that was that old, and like I got it for like $11. It was half off in October. So, and like I said, I almost passed up because I was like, the cover looked like, oh, it looked like it had black mold on it. But then I looked closer, and it's like, I talked to the guy. He's like, yeah, I don't stick it like that. It's like, but it's like not the best condition. The staples are kind of rusty. But I was like, I ain't gonna take it out of the bag at all. To me, it's just something you could use. I just frame, put up on the wall somewhere, and just have it. He's like, hey, I have something from 1947. That's cool. Like, how many people can say that? Other than people who own Action Comics #1. But Henry says I'm an artist. I'm a art first guy. The only thing I like in the 90s was interesting. It was Mark Bagley's Spider-Man and Ron Lim's Silver Surfer. I didn't mind Mark Bagley's Spider-Man art, but I hate the fact that he's become a crutch now for the current Spider-Man books. Like, they have to have Mark Bagley and everything. So it's always nice when to see somebody else drawing, but even more so, I've always been Romita Senior style, and I prefer when people try to imitate him. But especially when you had Junior had Leighton inking for him, so that way he actually looked like he was drawing like his father, But that's the one thing I wish they would have kept is the Spider-Man house style, like the certain way the characters are drawn. I mean, now other people say, well, that's boring. I'm like, well, I don't need Todd McFarlane with 1,000 miles of this webbing and cape and everything. I don't need that. That's great and all. I feel like if you want to be like, Kelly Jones and do an Elseworlds, sure. But I don't need exaggerated stuff. To me, that's stupid. But people like it. And that's why you look at the Nick Dragotta art. People are actually liking that art style. I'll admit, like, there's certain things. I looked at that book, like the giant dump truck thing. That just looks like you're just drawing Dark Knight's metal, though. That's what I got from it. It's like, but
did you ever end up getting Absolute Batman?
No, I read it online. No, I have no desire for the book. I understand people do like it, and you know what? More power to you, because, like I said, there ain't that many books out there that that are good. But I feel like like I said, we always talk about there's like a inner struggle with DC right now. Sorry, as you got the good, and then you got the bad writers, and they're just struggling to see who can get the most work done, or win the war.
Yeah, I will say this: Scott Snyder took to Twitter today to beg people to vote for Kamala, and I have no problem with him. And I was
Rogan endorsed
100%.
Trump,
I
and
was 100% sure that that's who he's voting for. But again, I'd say I don't know, and I would say the same thing if he had endorsed Trump, I'd have been, oh, that's cool. But when people are looking for reasons to not
buy yourself,
buy your stuff, telling half the people he didn't go the Adam Hughes route and call us Nazis.
No, yeah,
and Ben Rabb, who did the same thing, and both of them can eat huge bags of what.
Yeah,
but it's just I right now I think I would have maybe kept that to myself because Absolute Batman is the hit that DC desperately needs right now. I wouldn't do anything to give anybody a reason to say, I'm not gonna. The only time I've let anybody's political affiliation keep me from buying her stuff was Mark Waid because I thought what he said was disgusting.
It was.
And 2 months later, he kept his mouth shut, and I bought a Mark Waid book.
So it's no secret. I talk about our group on Twitter. Like I follow the Frazetta granddaughter, Sarah Frazetta.
Yeah,
she was replied to Adrian Curry. Is another celebrity. I guess it's C-list celebrity now.
Okay.
But she was originally married to one of the Brady guys. The Brady sons.
Knight.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and they broke up. Whatever.
Yeah, they were on one of those celebrity reality show, not
like Flavor Flav and all that. Yeah. Anyway, so she quit Hollywood and all that stuff. She got out of that stuff, and she's become conservative. But for Sarah Frazetta, never knew her politics. Never really cared. But Adrian Curry was retweeting somebody talking about in the military how they almost got in trouble because they're in the military and they refused to get the vax and stuff. And so Sarah Frazetta chimed in and said, she said, I never got vax. She said, I had this thing where I had this autoimmune disease where sometimes my arms don't move. It freeze up. I go numb. I can't move and stuff. I have problems there. And she says, ever since I moved to America, all the processed foods what I have affected, it flared up. So, and she's like, I didn't want to deal anything with the shots and all that stuff because they didn't know what they were. They're so she didn't trust them, but she never spoke up about them because she was afraid of the repercussions. So I was like, I was just so crazy to see her on election day talking about that. And of course somebody says, oh, you're anti-vax, so they do the whole thing like this thing, telling her to F off pretty much. And I was like, I couldn't believe, I was like, wow. I replied back to her, said, it's very brave of you to come out because if you have any inkling to be anything in the comic book community, you'll be shunned for that. For saying anything against vaccinations.
Well, some things are more important than getting a job with a failing industry.
Yeah. So, but more so, somebody replied back to her and said, how they're the guy, his wife, they're in Hong Kong and they had to get the shot, and his wife about getting some kind of syndrome where it actually she was paralyzed, because of it. It started with a B, Behrenjim's syndrome or something like that. I can't know what it's called, but yeah, like I said, it's just she said, I wish the person who insulted me earlier would have given me a chance to explain myself before insulting me.
They don't care,
and yeah,
they really don't.
But the thing is that I bring it up because I was shocked that she said that she even said anything about it, and two, but she was pretty much she's one of those persons that I know it's agree to disagree, don't. There's no reason to insult each other, and I commended her for that because it's the only person that cancel you is you. if you silence yourself. And she says she says it feels so good to be able to say something. And I'm wondering, like, because she was, remember, she was working for Dynamite. I wonder, Dynamite cut ties with her?
No, I doubt it.
Because you normally wouldn't come out and say that, unless you.
She's okay. For one thing, the one advantage she has is her name.
Mm-hmm.
And that name is always going to have a lot of weight in this industry. Maybe not at Marvel and DC, where probably nobody remembers who Frank Frazetta was.
Yeah.
But there are still plenty of people that do. And I found that people, there are a lot of people that are getting a lot more comfortable going against the machine.
Yeah,
because the machine's losing power. If I'm believing what I'm seeing on X, the machine might be broken after tonight, which is good. Which is a good thing because it's the con job of the of the whole COVID mess that no one has been held accountable for all the damage it did, both the COVID and the vaccine.
Fauci, who was in charge of everything.
Yeah, I said so. Good for her. Anyway, I said unfortunately YouTube does not share those views, so it's not to get booted off.
Yeah, and I know. If you want to talk, like I said, we're sort of getting slowly into politics. I blame Glinzer for bringing it up. We weren't even talking about it until he mentioned it. Marty says, honestly, I wouldn't mind some of the modern art styles that if they were printed on newsprint. They can print it on white newsprint, but light tan would work better for me. And she says, don't tell me the white newsprint is more expensive than the glossy crap paper. Story ads and newspapers are disposable and printed on white, and the pictures look great. Yeah, you know what's funny? I see newsprint still, but it's for like the used car stuff. When people have the car, go into your grocery store or whatever, and you see like the free stuff. It's always a newsprint. But in my opinion, it says only for decades the coloring in comics has been way too dark. Literally, drawing the line work of the art in the dark colors. I hate it. Isn't that how what's his name draws? The guy Marty doesn't like. Who's that artist? He's famously known for drawing dark stuff, dark artwork. Starts with a D. It's not D. Mateus. Diodato, isn't it? Is it Mike Diodato Jr.?
What's that?
Drawing art, dark.
Yeah, it's Diodato.
Yeah, Diodato. Yeah. I hear you on that. Like I said, like certain stuff like that, but I know, and I guess some of you, I never really noticed it. But you realize, like, when somebody over inks somebody, an artist, so it basically doesn't look like that artist anymore. It looks like that it's the inker drew everything. I never pay attention to that because I just like, if Gil Kane's doing this and then George Bell inks over him and it just mutes Gil Kane's art, I never noticed that. But a lot of you guys are like, yeah, I know that right away. Look how dark the ink is. I'm like, what? I'm just like, story good, art looks good to me. Yeah. He was talking about Bendis' run Iron Man with Diodato's art on there. Now that was glossy with the dark art. It was on a glossy paper and had. Do you remember when Marvel? Speaking of Marvel, I don't know if they still do, but the cover is back in the early 2000s. You take Amazing Spider-Man cover and you grab it, and you'd have red ink or black ink all over your hand. The covers. That drove me nuts. But anyway, though, if anybody has any other comments, concerns, or questions, or subjects you want to talk about, or comic book related, let us know. Gene Colan is a dark artist. All this dark artist talk, guys, no wonder Zach doesn't show up anymore.
Yeah, wow, that's Gene Colan was. Yeah, that's he was Diodato decades before there was a Diodato, but it worked for his style.
I was gonna say I don't remember his art being looking bad. Diodato is like he's done some stuff in the past year or so. The only one that actually worked for Diodato was that spy book we read, that trade one.
I think he's his superhero stuff is a little darker than it needs to be. but Colin would, and he got darker as the job dictated. Like his Tomb of Dracula and other Night Force and things that he did of the supernatural bent. But his Daredevil not as much, Submariner not as much.
I gotta ask though, has Diodato done artwork on Batman?
That's a very good question.
Because that's a dark book, regardless.
I don't think he has.
Henry, we refer to you. The chat. Let us know because I'm curious now. I'm gonna look it up. Mike, he's had to do something with Batman.
Yeah, that was a dream pairing, and about like over 60 of the 70 issues were Colin and Palmer. Of course, Tom Palmer pretty much made anybody he inked. I mean, he even improved Neil Adams. And personally, I know it's blasphemous to say, I liked Adams and Palmer more than I liked Adams and Giordano.
You liked what?
What?
Adam.
Oh, it's Adams.
Apparently he worked on Batman No Man's Land, Volume 2, though, according to DC's DC.com. But was he an artist? Or
yeah, he definitely would have been. I guess he must have done a handful of issues that I don't remember.
I think he does covers, but I mean, like, I'm just wondering if he did interior, though.
No, it's Mike Diodato, Henry, right? Because, Gene Colan was, and Gene Colan's Batman, dark and moody. That was great stuff. That's, in fact, I recommend anybody that hasn't read the Batman stories from like 1980 through 1985, Batman Detective, great stuff. To me, that's probably that's my favorite era of Batman. Doesn't have my favorite stories, but it's my favorite overall era.
Well, he did the Nightfall covers, didn't he?
Who?
Diodato?
I don't think so.
He must have did something. I know he did.
I want to say he did. Now I'm thinking about. I think he did some issues of Detective.
Batman and Doc Savage. Maybe.
I don't know. Can you give me a second?
Sure.
All right.
Now that we've been here long enough, there were for bats to jump on. that's Tom Palmer and Neil Adams. Yeah. King Kong has drawn Batman. What was it? Okay. No, yeah. So that was Mike Diodato Jr. And I'm wondering if he's done anything just other than just covers, because it looks like he's done covers for like this things like. But I wonder if he's done interior art though. So I'm curious if he's done that, because that would actually work with him. Because I gotta see him. He's doing some variant covers, but I'm wondering if he's done interior. Google's not helping me. Yeah, I'm looking, man. I'm not seeing it. Unless did he do Assault on Arkham? Oh. Oh well. I know he did interior. He had to work. It worked on the Flash too. But anyway, though. Alrighty then. I guess we'll probably end it here. If you guys haven't done so, please do the liking and the clicking and the subscribing, all that fun stuff. Nothing going on tomorrow. As far as channel wise, here Thursday will be the best of the week, and then obviously you've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will all be readings again. So there's always something for you guys to watch. And I think Mike Diondato, his artwork for Spider-Man, is that you talking about the early 2000s or you talking about like 90s? Like I said, I'm not the biggest Diodato fan, but I mean, every artist when they are in their element, they usually I like Ryan Rosmo, for example. I don't like him on Harley Quinn. I don't like him on Batman Superman, but I mean, like, if Riley Rosmo's gonna be on Harley Quinn, I want him along with another artist. Like, I want Rosmo drawing what Harley Quinn sees everybody as, because she's crazy. So if she sees everybody looking like cartoons, I want Riley Rosmo drawing that. And then when it's like Batman's point of view, I want it to look like Dan Mora drawing it. I want, like I said, I want it to look different, because to me that would be so much more entertaining than any of these black, white, and blood whatever books they're coming out with. Because honestly, it's like it's boring after a while. Black, white, and blood, black, white, and red over. Like I said, I on Harley Quinn, because Harley's she's kind of kooky. She talks to stuffed animals and stuff like that. She's kind of crazy. I would rather have her just having her Riley Mosswell doing her vision. But sadly, the DC is out of ideas. They'll never do that. Would you buy a book like that if it was written? If it was written by Carl Kessel or Barbara Kessel, whatever, or Amanda Connor, that's a Harley Quinn book, and it's drawn by Roy Osmo, but only in the point of Harley's view. So that's why everybody looks weird like that, the Roy Osmo, because it's Harley's mentally insane, disturbed view. But when she comes across Batman, it switches to Batman's point of view, and she looks normal, like Dan Mora or something like that drawing. So he asks, Bueller.
What?
it's rewind 5 seconds when I asked you a question.
What was the question?
No, I was saying when it comes to like the question, like said, would you pick up a book written by Amanda Connor or Carl Kessel, the Harley Quinn book, but Riley Rosmo is only doing the art when it shows Harley Quinn's point of view?
No, because I have no interest in Harley Quinn, but that's just me.
Even if it's like when she's with Joker.
Yeah, because it would still be written. It'd have to be written with modern sensibilities, and that's the difference. That's why it's something that Aaron says that I agree with 100%. To be careful what you wish for. There are characters that under these new rules cannot be written well anymore.
I'm doing a Hail Mary.
Okay, are you doing a what if?
What if?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I like that character. But I also know that character, there's no shot of him being allowed to write. She's only allowed to be one thing now.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
But if you could go back to the Carl Kessel, Terry Dodson series,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Terry Dodson draws it like in when the other character's point of view, the normal point of view, but when it's like her point of view, it's like someone like Riley Rosmo, and that's why it looks weird, Because
I remember that, Glenn. Right? I didn't get it, but I looked through that. That was cool. Did you see what he's talking about?
Yeah, the Deadpool comic book.
Yeah,
right. It changed the art style.
Yeah, for like because it was like he got caught up in like Spider-Man in the '60s.
Yeah,
that was done in like that. A guy was like trying to do Ramita. That was cool.
Well, that was also in they did something similar with Miles Morales when they had the cartoon movie that was one of the Spider-Verse ones when when like they went into like the 1960s alternate that verse, the original cartoon, where they're pointing, like they actually drew Miles, on them kind of like looking like their original 60s animation style they had back then. Like that's what I like. I like stuff like that. Like I said, when you're able to if you're time traveling, if you're going across different universes, Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon series actually did that. When he went into black and white, he was in black and white. Nowhere, or that stuff. Or if he was like in Lego, all of a sudden he's in like Lego, like the version of himself running around. So, Eric Brina says, I once seen that you had a copy of Captain America in 112. Please give a minute to type. I'll tell you a story about that issue. Linzer says, when people ask who's the best Spider-Man, Captain America, etc., the answer is whoever has the most valuable comic. And that, Eric,
what
would you say is the most popular comic book to drop in popularity over the years? Like from the beginning until now.
That's a good question.
Like which went the highest and then just crashed?
Probably Deadpool.
Really?
Of the 21st century, absolutely. Yeah, because there was a time when that was it, and too many writers that don't get it got to do the book, and it's just it's and it's the same thing with Harley Quinn her book was never as popular as Deadpool's.
Yeah,
but she as a character did. I don't even know how popular a character she is anymore.
For me personally, like my taste says I would say Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was, but I don't know if Spider-Man's really dropped in popularity though.
But it's still,
even though it's written badly,
it's still the number one seller.
That's I mean. It's like,
it's not selling in numbers like it used to. And I just realized, hell, we here it is an hour later. We could have had Jared on.
I said that while you stepped away. I was like, man, if Bats would have stayed on, he could have jumped on and talked with us. But yeah, I mean, like books that were the highest, and now like they're just completely forgotten. That's another topic we could talk about too. Books were so hot when they came out, and now they're just kind of like, oh, that was a series, because they don't bring it up anymore. I was not around for Rom when it came out, but I mean, the way when some of you old timers talk about that book and how great it was, that and Chrononauts, or not Chrononauts, what was the other one? It was Micronauts. Were those like super popular back when they came out, and then they're just
not super popular?
So you're saying Deadpool was probably like the only comic book you could think of that went super like popularity and just crashed?
Yeah, I think I've heard that story, Henry. That's because Stranka couldn't make his deadline, so Kirby banged out an issue over the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. He doesn't have Twitter anymore. So send me the link here. But I don't know how to.
And through text messaging.
Yeah.
I guess you go, if you're on your phone. I would do is I would.
Wait a minute. Let me do this.
Click on the link, and then if you have the browser, click on where it says copy link. Or something.
Wait a minute. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna. I know we'll be here for.
Yeah. There's no cover ranking tonight, right?
What's that?
There's no cover ranking tonight,
right?
Okay. All right. I'm loving it.
Okay. All right. Okay, I just sent you his number.
Oh my. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Through that, he's gonna like, who's this random person that like messaged me? That's all right.
I asked him if I could give him your number, and he said sure.
Let me get my burner phone out. Right here. There you go. And no, I don't want to call. I want to text. All right. Um, I gotta open up Twitter, my PC. So what's going on in the chat? It's like as we're like dead silent here, ignoring everybody.
So I'm grabbing a couple mouthfuls of popcorn.
Ross Andrews stuff. I do love Ross Andrews Spider-Man. Favorite Spider-Man artist, like I said, is John Romita Sr. and then it comes out and then Ross Andrew. Mark, I said Mark Bagley is all right, but I feel like Mark Bagley has become like kind of sloppy in his current look. It's kind of lazy, but trying to think what else. I don't think other artists, that have drawn him over the years. Gil Kane has done a good job. Here it is.
Yeah, I like Kane better than Andrew, but even though Gil Kane is my all-time favorite artist, my all-time favorite Spider-Man artist is Romita Sr.
Oops. There you go. I'm like, I'm getting ready, like the mouth out the number is like, I'm like, I'm on camera, I can't do that. I'm like, everyone's like, I got the number now too. All right, it just sent it in text message. Hope that's the right number.
It is.
I know. It's like this random guy's like jumps on. Hi. It's like, all right. Like I said, what's crazy though? Everyone is coming out of the woodwork cycle. You mentioned earlier. Bat shows up. Ash is in the Twitter group talking active. It just everybody is here, and Jackson Roycax, Roy Roycack, as I call him, Jackson Roy Kirk is back, and I've been meaning to ask: is Roy Kirk, is that a Star Trek thing?
It is,
because he always says creator when he sees Trusty and stuff, like or whatever, vice versa. So, and parasocial audience. Parasocial, do we know you under a different name before that? Like, or is it, have we always known you through just that parasocial audience? Like, do you have a YouTube name before this? Just curious. So a lot of people keep changing their names, and the name looks familiar because I know you've been here before. Jackson Krager was Elk. Okay, Elk of Ant. Okay, that's what I was. I was wondering if you were. I'm like, it sounds familiar. It's been a while, bro, or girl. I don't know your gender, so I'll just call you dude or dudette. Jackson Roykirk was the creator of Nomad, or Nomad was still correct for Roykirk. Oh. Nomad. Isn't that Captain America?
It's good to know he's even nerdier than I thought.
Who, Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Reason I asked because I looked it up the other day. I was like, I'll just look up Jackson Roykirk and hope I don't get an image search. I don't know with that. But man, Yeah, there's a scene with Kirk, and I guess the robot is Jackson Roy. Is Jackson Roy Kirk supposed to be the robot or Roy Kirk or Nomad or Nomad was the robot or robot? Sorry,
Okay.
When it's testing your brain to see if you're paying attention.
Well, I had to take a break from blowing my nose to make sure you did that correctly.
And here he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his triumphant return.
The hair's even longer.
I'll even go on camera for this.
What's up? What's up?
Jared, how are you?
I'm doing well. I just got out of class.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got the John Bowie.
How are you guys?
Doing all right. Got the John Bon Jovi 80s haircut. That's what's going on.
You like that?
Or it might be Bacon. I'm not sure. It's one of the two.
It's Bon Bacon.
Bon Bacon?
Yeah.
Man. How you been, man? I haven't seen you in like 4 years.
It hasn't been that long. It feels like
it's funny. It's funny because like you come back and then I don't see Ash. And then when you leave, I'm gonna see Ash again. It's like you guys are just avoiding each other like by a few years apart.
No, we planned that. We planned that.
Planned it.
Yeah, it's a coordinated attack.
So yeah. So you're obviously you're still reading comic books because you mentioned.
I'm a lifer, dude. I can't give those things up.
No, are you still reading Power Rangers? Or is that over now?
Actually. So I don't collect. So I moved from where I was living. So the nearest comic shop is like 2 hours away.
Oh.
And so I've kind of become exclusive to trade through
our friend Joe. Our friend Joe's in Japan, so that's all he gets his trades now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, I'm closer to the comic shop, I guess, than Japan.
Oh yeah, he's got comic shops there too, but he orders through Amazon or whatever eBay, whatever sends him But I mean, it is nice when you save money, but then but the problem is if you start buying omnibuses or compendium, it's like I didn't save that much at all,
Dude, so I'm currently here. Let me flip this around.
Yeah.
If I figure out how to operate the camera.
Nice.
Batman Adventures. It retails at $150 and with tax it was $93.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I got mine through my shop. I paid the full price, but in stock trades is what I like. I've been going through that once in a while, and that did the 40% off, and then the free shipping. Over like $60 or $50 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's another one I can't remember what it's called, but it's
organic price books.
Organic price books. Man, it is. It's so much nicer when you don't have to spend like the full price. I can get like for half the price, especially if it's like a $20 book. I'm paying like $5 to $6 sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I've learned too using in stock is sometimes you're like, oh man, I'm at like $48.
That's it.
You know what works really well to fix that is get a DC compact because they're 42% off, so you get a $5 trade,
right?
Or like an image number 1.
Yeah, the one problem is that there's only so many you can get, so before you have all of them, like multiple over,
Yeah, just give them away.
True, you can do that too, but I'm giving away like a $15 book. It's like, what if I could just turn and flip it?
Right. Yeah. My girlfriend's really into eBay.
Yep.
And so like I'm trying to just be like, I want to get rid of a lot of stuff floppy wise because I just really enjoy having trades now.
Yep.
I feel more like a respectable person with
it's like it's the British encyclopedias, but it's like comic books.
Yeah, like instead of having like a pile of white boxes, I'm like, look at my nice books.
Right.
When someone comes over and they're like, okay, yeah, that's nice. Where am I sleeping tonight? It's like, okay.
See, I thought it was you have less of a chance of getting beat up on the bus if you're reading a trade than a floppy.
Well, I have a vehicle, so I don't ride the bus.
Thank you for spoiling the bit.
You're welcome. I'm here all night.
Missed you, pal.
So much he turned his camera off now.
No, I looked. I said, there's two young, good-looking dudes up there in my fat chins. I said, no, I'm out.
So he switched it to freaking Fred
I
Flintstone.
know, right?
Well, Fred
Guys,
doesn't have a chin, period. So it's
He is the chin.
yes.
I just say like chin's gone, like the neck's gone, and it's just one giant chin.
Because I'm thinking about growing the beard back just to hide this thing that I can't get rid of.
I can only
I
do.
just took mine off. I dressed as Clark Kent for Halloween.
Was that you in that picture?
No, that was Tyler Chogle.
Okay, I mean, I thought, well, Kent doesn't look like it, but hell, I don't know.
I wish I looked like that guy, the hottest Middle Eastern around.
Everybody, this is one of my favorite genre media drawings. It's a Marvel Treasury Special Edition, Marvel 1. Do you know do you know that image? Do you not know? I did not really looked at a lot of the Marvel Treasury stuff.
I think it's my last comment. I think if it's the one I'm thinking of, it was the first one, or not the first one, but there's one of the earlier Treasury editions. It's basically the Spider-Man pose where his like legs are tucked under him and he's like coming like towards the camera, making air quotes.
Also, I apologize if I'm distracted by we got Jared down here who is just so handsome, and I cannot look away. I've been deprived for 4 years.
So are you guys picking up those DC Finest?
I probably will tomorrow. Brain probably has the original floppies.
No, but I probably have the stuff in trade already.
That too.
I have an unbelievable amount of trades.
Okay, so with that Batman stuff, there's 9 issues that weren't collected in trade ever.
It seems to be they're doing that a lot now with a lot of that. If you've been looking at the comic geeks, there's a lot of trades coming out, and I'm wondering like how much stuff has actually ever been collected, complete like this.
I don't know if you caught my comment. Marvel's pretty much entire history has been printed.
Yep.
And DC is notorious for not printing anything that doesn't say Jeff Johns, Jeff Loeb, Grant Morrison, or Alan Moore.
I remember the Discord you were saying there was that Legend of the Dark Knight series you're trying to collect, or they didn't have the second volume in trade. They had the first one, and you got to get the individual floppies.
Well, when it comes to Legends, they only have Gothic. There's like a handful of like the original story arcs from Legends, but once it starts tying into Nightfall, they didn't print anything else. So like, but they've reprinted like Gothic because it has Grant Morrison's name on it.
Yes.
And they've reprinted Venom a few times, but if you try to get Venom, the Denny O'Neil story about Batman becoming a drug addict.
Yep.
If you try to get it on eBay, it goes for like $70.
Wow.
For a 4-issue trade.
Wow.
And so like I've hunted a lot of this stuff down, but I also I really love how clean the epics look, and I've been complaining about it for about 10 years, and they've had a bunch of false starts, and now the DC Finest seems like they're actually committing to it.
And I like the fact it's cheaper than what you're paying at Marvel. Marvel's paying $15. Marvel's going to have their own little versions they're trying to do now of the compacts, I guess. They've been doing like the Masterworks.
I'm talking DC Finest though.
I know, yeah, but I mean like Marvel.
The compacts are cool.
Yeah, I love the compacts because like I got the Brubaker Catwoman stuff, and I'm just like I'm picking up ones I've never really picked up before, but now they're in like a smaller size.
Longer size.
Yeah,
for $10 retail. Yeah,
I think that will help get more kids. And the problem is that though, like if they have them outside, like right now, I guess actually no, they are selling at Barnes & Noble. Yeah. I did see them. There's a whole, and then I saw Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, trade there too.
The problem though is that even though they look great, right? The problem is like say people who are like, they like
Artists.
Batman,
Mhm.
and they're like, oh, I read manga, but I want to check out Batman. There's no
Yeah.
numeric order to it. Where manga is just like volume 1 through whatever, and so they're just going to be like, this
Well,
Batman looks nothing like the other Batman I read. Is this the same one? And it's
it's like,
going to.
well, yeah, it's usually manga is usually one artist and one writer, Yeah, so
Mhm.
and it goes through, and that's one of the things that DC and Marvel just don't
Just
understand.
Western in general, yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Western comics.
But I mean, I said it goes back to Marvel talking about the house style Marvel had when they started off
Mhm.
with Romita. Everyone copied him, and this Spider-Man looked the same. And all of a sudden, we got Humberto Ramos and Todd McFarlane and just some of these other ones. Is like, I don't want Spider-Man looking like he's 6'3" and has huge heads and huge hands and huge. He looks like a cartoon character, where before he actually looked like a normal person with Romita, you know,
Yeah,
because it's and I don't
that's.
understand why they had to change it because
I mean, I guess
yes,
that comes down to like personal preference and like if is the artist being hired to pump out pages for corporation or does he have
so
artistic expression?
Rob Liefeld said, "Well, it's boring if it's all the same." I'm like, to a point, sure, but I don't want Max Bemis drawing Batman. I don't want, I don't want, I don't want what's his name, Jim Kelly, or what was his name, or Kelly Jones, with the
Kelly
freaking thing.
Jones.
Boy, how does he get in
I
the
mean,
Batwing? How does he get in any vehicles?
yeah. I mean, he has this place though. Like, if you're reading a Batman versus Dracula, he's the guy.
Sure, sure, but even then, it's just like, it's like. I kept wondering, it's like, okay, it's like, does he starts off with the little horns, and then he becomes more of a professional, he becomes like the man X, and then his ears get longer. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah. His horns get bigger as the sun comes out.
It's like, well, that's what I kept thinking about when I was watching the Justice League cartoons. Wow, his ears are getting longer as they go, as he becomes more of a.
That's the best Batman costume though. The JLU costume is the best.
Because I'm watching like the new Adventures of Batman's like he changed the costume, but the ears are always still short. Because until the Justice League
Mhm.
cartoons all unlimited, all it's like why are we going with the freaking long ears again?
My girlfriend and I just went through all of BTAS and through TNBA,
Yeah,
and now we're currently in Beyond.
nice. Are you gonna go watch the Brave and the Bold one?
The movie
No, the cartoon
when we
series.
get through the
Yeah,
DCAU.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we're in Beyond right now. We're coming up to the end of the first season.
Got to get her on that Teen Titans cartoons.
She's seen all that. That's
Yeah.
showing her the good stuff now.
The good stuff. Have her pick up the Teen Titan Go comic books. We've read those on the channel.
Good,
Those are fun.
good luck finding those.
I know. Uh,
I was curious and I looked them up, and like just some of the floppies go for like $70. I'm like, who
so
who has
he
these?
he has the complete collection of the Justice League Adventures. Seriously,
Okay.
yeah. And he's looking at. He's like, "Wow, these go for like $100." I'm like, "Well, yeah, because that's how awesome they are." It's like
Have you
no,
have
no,
you have you read any of this stuff? This
the Batman Adventures,
yeah.
the Kelly Puckett one, or not
Yes.
Kelly Puckett.
Yeah. It's
I
Kelly
don't,
Puckett.
okay, because I'm like, it sounds so weird. I'm like thinking like, isn't there another sports guy? That's Kirby Puckett.
No, I don't know sports.
That'd be a,
Uh,
that'd be a brain question, but no, but yeah, I actually got the animated. Yeah,
Yes, outfielder for the
yeah. See,
Twins.
so I haven't said
Hall of Famer, died young.
I haven't said Kelly Puckett's name in a long, long time. So when I said, I'm like, is that really the name? Because it sounds like Kirby Puck, which is a baseball player.
no, yeah, Kelly Puck, dude. Those I've been reading this thing.
Yep.
It is. I had to put it down because I'm like, oh, it's gonna end too quick, and it's like 1,200 pages.
Yeah.
Like
For
you
what?
can read.
Yeah.
You can read an issue in like every page is 4 pages with probably one word balloon. And so by the time you're like, this is awesome, you're like, oh, it's over. Well,
Yeah.
I'll read another one. I'll read another one. And then it's like midnight and you're like 100 pages deep and you're like, I better
Right.
go to bed. I got to get up at 6.
Right? Yeah, I picked it up. That's a very fun series, and then I continued on reading the. Well, we're doing or for on the channel here, we're reading the 2004, the Dan Slott one, which is a continuation one.
They're releasing that for a Target exclusive.
Really,
Yeah, first 10 issues have just come out.
I'll have to go over there
Only
and
at
check it out.
Target though. And I'm like, I don't want a freaking Target exclusive. I want one that's like just put it in omnibus.
Yeah, I have a free fucking gift card, so might as well.
Might as well use it, yeah.
I know, right?
Uh yeah, because if they're gonna I'm like, they did the Batman Adventures and then they've released Batman and Robin Adventures. So then they
Yep.
gotta do Gotham Adventures, which is the TNBA compendium.
Yep.
Or companion, excuse me. And then after they do Gotham Adventures, then it becomes Batman Adventures Volume 2 with Dan Slott. And I'm
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
are they not gonna do that? They
Like I said, on the channel, we just been doing this. I've been combining them where we will record them and then we'll upload them. But we do the Batman. It's basically the Batman Superman Adventures. Basically, I do the 1996 Superman Adventures. You know, we do a reading of that, and I pair it up with the Batman 2004 series. So it starts the Batman. You get basically you're getting the Batman Superman Power Hour. Like you usually watch.
Right.
I used to watch the cartoon back in the day. So I figured, why not just put the two readings in one thing? You know.
Are you into the Mark Millar issues?
On the Superman ones, not yet. You know, but I've read them before. By myself. They're fun.
They're re-releasing that in June in a compendium.
Nice.
The whole series. So it's all 26 issues.
Yeah.
So
everything's come on trades, man. Everything. It's like it's just whatever. It's like, are they just like releasing everything they have and then DC's done? it's like
well, you know, what's crazy is they have like 100 years worth of history to.
Yeah.
DC started in 1935, so
it just seems like a liquidation sale. Everything must go. Everything's coming on trade now for some reason.
Well, it's because like,
and I can see the Elseworlds because they're doing the absolute crap, whatever that's going on right now. Like, so they're like going to push Elseworlds. But
you know, and what's funny is I'm finding myself not reading floppies anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm becoming more refined, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get Red Hood and the Outlaws. I don't care. But like reading it in floppy, I cared more because it was like, well, I go to the shop every Wednesday.
What's up, Trusty? Says, say that backdrop looks all familiar. Is this something you drew? I found it through Google image search.
He's talking about this window.
Oh, the window. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want to say real quick. Yeah, Henry was bringing up this treasury, the Bring on the Bad Guys. Said when I first started reading in the mid '70s, trades were not a thing yet. But there's a book company called Fireside that did Origins of Marvel Comics, Sons of Origins, Bring on the Bad Guys, and the Superhero Women. And those were just glorious at those times because there really wasn't any, the only reprints you could get would be the reprint titles.
Well, even if you think like, I would say the early aughts is where the trade paperback became kind of like my friend Bruce, believe it or not, that's his real name. He only reads in trade, and he's been reading in trade since 2003. You know, and so
makes sense if you're a person that also binge watches stuff, you know.
Well, it's not even like a binge thing. It's just like he didn't want to feel. He wants to read comics, but he likes reading in bigger chunks, I guess. Not so much of a binge, but just like,
yeah, it's
he's still reading it serialized in a sense, right? He'll like read an issue or two a night, and then it's like, okay, I gotta wait 6 months for the next Batman book.
Have you've read Walking Dead before, right? How it's just basically it's like there's hardly any words. Mm-hmm. It's basically just art. Mm-hmm. You can imagine getting that, waiting like a month or two or for the next issue to come out, That would drive me nuts.
Well, and yeah, and you know, I've found since I've gone exclusively trade, this, I've gone back and read things that I didn't like, but as a trade, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, that's what the author was trying to do here, and then like I've gone back. I enjoy the Bendis run in Superman now, which is like,
Really,
yeah, it's almost kind of nuts
I'd
because
say.
right, like I understand that like that it sounds nuts, but like going from like action to Superman to action to Superman to action to Superman every month,
Hmm.
and you're like, there's no cohesiveness, but just reading all of the action trades as action one, two, three, four, five, or whatever,
Yeah.
and then going, oh, okay, this makes more sense. This feels better as a story now.
Or
It's
you've read.
still it's still not executed. It starts off great and executes terribly, like every Bendis story, but I like it a lot more as a whole.
I'm thinking you probably been exposed too much of Bendis all at once, and that's why you're liking it more.
Well, that was the thing too. Is like I was really excited about Bendis coming to Superman because I love his Ultimate Spider-Man run,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, oh yeah, makes sense. The blue and red guy who works at the newspaper, raised
Yep.
by old people, can't screw it up. He did, but
Yeah. Like the biggest complaint I heard from his was basically is what he did with the whole is Superman being outed as Clark Kent. Willfully doing that. And then the other thing was well, the Jonathan Kent situation. Him and I forgot who the guy was working with them that decided to age up Jonathan Kent.
hmm
But like that those are big two things that people didn't like. But nowadays it's become a trope. Like only sometimes Batman, and not even Count Zdarsky. How many times that hey, you're Bruce Wayne or you're Batman? It's like people have found out his secret identity, or he tells them.
Well, the biggest problem people had with Bendis on Superman was they had two very good runs going in action and Superman with
That's
Tomasi and Jurgens,
yeah,
that's the other one,
and
right?
Bendis just threw all of that away
Yep.
as if it hadn't happened and did things to the character that were far more disliked than liked. Um, Now, on the plus side, he always had the best artists. But yeah, I mean, like I
That's
said, as
yeah.
someone has been reading Superman longer than my two esteemed colleagues here have been alive, it didn't work for me. When the Man of Steel series, I was cautiously optimistic and actually liked the first four of them.
Mm-hmm.
Number five, the cracks started showing. Then by the sixth one, I said, I'm out. And
mm,
unfortunately, I said, yeah, and I think Joshua Williamson's had a pretty decent comeback because I
that's
really
some
like
good
the
stuff.
fact
Yep.
I get in discussions with the guy I used to work for, and it would be like one of his arguments was there's just nothing really original you can do to some characters that have been around for 80 plus years. Well, Joshua Williamson found something original to do with Lex. What if he kind of slowly did a face turn that wasn't a ruse where he was just going to turn right back? This is a version of Lex Luthor we've never had, and bring his family in, and so and I realize there's with all the crisis here and there, I don't know what version, I don't know what all this Lex Luthor has done, but it really doesn't matter at this point.
hmm
I think it's interesting what they're doing with him, and now I think as a result
Yeah.
of a storyline that because you have bats, I quit all DC when after Mark Wade's Trump assassination comment because he
Okay,
pissed me off to no end, and then like 2 months later, 2 or 3 months later, I started easing back in because he
that's why I
kept
don't
his.
want to go on Twitter.
Oh,
Like my
I understand that, and I don't,
Yeah.
and you're the smart one.
Yep.
Um,
well, the thing is like my friend Bruce always goes like he's not internet person at all by any means, and so like he only knows writers and artists by the merits of their works.
yeah,
And so, like, as far as he's concerned, like, Mark Waite has done nothing wrong.
in print. He hasn't.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's you know, and that's all he knows him. He's like, oh, he's the guy who did Flash. He was the guy who did. He was part of the 52 original miniseries. He did Kingdom Come with Alex Ross. Like, as far as he knows, Mark Waid is just a good writer.
Yeah.
And it's kind of I was too until like also I started noticing stuff on Twitter, and then like there's a lot of stuff I don't follow these guys, but like he brought up Adam Hughes the other like a couple days ago. It's like Adam Hughes made this tweet because he saw one of Richard's videos. Your boy Zach
Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah.
talking about it, and I was like, what? Like I said, I read the Mark Waid books as far as what it World's Finest.
It's a great
Since,
series.
yeah, great series.
I've read the first 2 volumes. I have the 3 and
If
4. I just haven't
you
read them
are
yet.
not on Twitter or any social media or watching, you have no idea what these people are saying.
Okay, let me finish this point because
You cannot.
or I will forget it, which I may have just done. Oh yeah, apparently something happened to Lex while I was on sabbatical, and now he's got some kind of memory loss.
So that was the Superman Brainiac thing, remember?
Yeah, so I'm hoping that when he gets his mind back, he doesn't go evil again, because that's been done every which way to Sunday. And I kind of like the idea of this Lex Luthor, because there are plenty of villains for Superman, other than Lex. In fact, I always thought that one of the things, it was at some points it was almost lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a story arc. We'll just bring Lex Luthor back in, because he is so much more than just a supervillain at this point, so much more complex character, that I kind of hope they keep this going at least for a while.
So I have not read the tie-ins to the Absolute Power stuff, but man, what I saw though, because at the end of the Brainiac story arc is that basically he saved his daughter by putting his brain inside, hooking it up to the Brainiac machine, the Hive thing, and that caused him his mind to snap. Like amnesia. So
Is this in the floppies that's just came out in the trade that you're spoiling for me?
no,
Yes.
this is from 5 years ago, bro.
Oh, okay, okay.
Wow,
okay.
it's like being on with E.
No, it's not anything like being on with E.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now that Eric brought up the subject and started talking about it, so I blame
I'm
Eric.
sorry, Englandine, if you go rewatch this.
He doesn't watch my channel.
Yeah,
He's too busy streaming right now. He's not gonna watch this.
every other YouTuber could spend the 90% of their time trashing him, and he would never know.
Tight.
He might sneeze a little bit though, because I was talking about him.
Did you enjoy the Josh what's his name, Philip Kennedy Johnson run?
Zach did. Not Zach.
I know
Richard.
Zach. Yeah.
Richard,
Yeah, I wasn't reading. It had nothing to do with not liking or liking it. I just wasn't reading DC at the time.
That's fair.
I said I am not the biggest Philip Kennedy Johnson person, so I mean I wasn't really paying attention to action comics and all that stuff. If anything, I was reading they had the Jan Jurgens Super Sons, kind of like, or not Super Sons, but it was like a backup story with young Jonathan Kent. I was reading that. But
I did read a couple of those.
But you mentioned Josh Williamson being on Superman. Josh Williamson being on Flash is what got me back into comic books. His run, and that's what brought me back. Because otherwise, I was not reading anything.
So there's a lot of I think division when it comes to the Philip Kennedy Johnson Superman run or the action run, and I think a lot of people miss the point because they're like, he just turned Superman into Conan, and that's stupid, right?
See,
but here, let me finish really quick. So what the 2 big inspirations to Superman with Jerry Siegel and Joel Shuster was Moses and John Carter. And so what he does is he combines those 2 stories. He makes Superman a Moses John Carter story, takes all the values of Superman, going, hey, I'm a man who helps the oppressed, and he goes to a world where people are oppressed. He's a man of the people, and causes a revolution. And it's like, it's so good. but because people can't get past the like, it's Conan. It's not Conan. It's John Carter in Moses.
See, I didn't read this story. What I said, I've been reading post crisis fans where he's by himself. He doesn't have like 30 other people helping him. Like, so I'm like, so now I'm like, oh great, two more freaking kids. It reminds me of what we lost with Jonathan because now he's aged up. That's the problem. I don't like it, but I saw that and I was like, I can't get past it. It's like, and then like, not only is that he's got Power Girl, he's got Supergirl, he's got Connor Kent, he's got Jonathan Kent. It's just like, and then DC's just like has no idea what to do with Connor, so they're like, Connor, you're gonna go through the multiverse or go over here or
No, that's
whatever.
John. John's gone
John,
through the
you or John
multiverse.
or whatever, but like it just feels like there's so many man related. And I dare I say it, I agree with Ash on this. I'm not against legacies, but I'm like, Last Son of Krypton means bullshit now.
Well, he technically is still the last son of Krypton.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Yeah, but Ash's
yeah,
opinion on Legacy is like on the level of Dan DiDio. He just doesn't like DC Comics. Let's like DC is built on Legacy from 1940 and 1941, and he's
yes,
just like absolutely not. There's
yeah,
only one Wolverine. Yeah, at Marvel. Not anymore though because they
yeah.
copied
Her
DC.
name's Laura. Say it.
Wolverine.
Not Listerine. It's Lorraine. No, but I like the simple. I mean, where it's just him and just being Lois, whoever he's dating at the time, and then I like the Tomasi's run because it was the kid. It's a simple thing, and I love
Mhm.
that meme where it's like where he says like like Superman's holding the young Jonathan Kent, and now he's got Lois, and he's like this is my son, my pride and joy, Jonathan Kent, I love him so much, and then Batman's like. This is Jason. I found him in a dumpster and I kept him. I'll die. Like I love it. It's like I love that those versions of the characters. Like it just feels like there's so many new characters to the point where it's like, why are Batman and Superman doing it? Why don't they just retire at this point and just like, all right, you go do this, you go do that. Batman should be looking. It's like Batman's got so many freaking Robins, Bat Family at this point. How is Gotham still a shithole?
Because Gotham will forever be one.
It's like like there should be no crime. There's like 30 Bat people in Gotham City.
I've got a question to ask. My young friend at the bottom of the thing there.
That sounds so gay.
Well, that's funny. You use that word
He's your bottom friend. I don't
because
know
you
that.
are. Yeah, it seems like this version of you is so much more calm and serene and live and let live. Devil may care. Any of all that.
It's because he's got
Did
a stable life. Right? That's
did
why now.
did what they did to Tim Drake bother you?
Yes. But
Where did it
I
touch you?
can't. Uh, so, but I have a caveat to what they did to Tim Drake. They haven't known what to do with Tim Drake since Grant Morrison.
Does not make that right because they
No,
took.
okay, no, I'm not saying that,
No,
but
I know, but I'm saying that when the guy that created, Bernard was created as a character who was horny for Tim Drake's hot stepmom, not
right,
Tim.
and yeah, like, and Bernard's such a deep cut like that, so much that I was like, oh yeah, there was that kid that was a side character in a book in 2003. Like he was the C supporting cast member that like when I was like, oh, he came out in the freaking uh what's his name? Not Joshua Williamson, the Fables guy when he was
Bill
writing
Willingham.
Willingham.
Yeah, he created him.
Yeah, but it's like so I feel like with Tim they haven't known what to do with him since Grant Morrison. And then New 52 happened, and they were like, I don't know, throw him in Titans, give him a terrible costume. Uh, re- you know, uh,
Wasn't Tim also Batman Beyond for a while?
Exactly. Yeah. In future. Yeah, they have not known what to do with Tim since 2009. And so I'm like, at that point when they're like, oh, make him Batman Beyond, make him gay. Something's got to stick around here.
Well, so there's a stick now because he's gay. uh, Honestly, like, what we're gonna do with them because you have Dick Grayson moved to another city, became Nightwing. What's Tim gonna go to another city?
I
Become
wish I could say
Red Wing.
I have heard a pitch. Well, there's
Yeah,
just because you don't know what to do with a character,
I understand. Yeah,
make him gay. That's
like
that to me that's become so lazy
I would
because
rather.
everybody they go out and recruit to write a character, that's their pitch. I'm making them gay.
I feel like they should have just left. They should have committed to Young Justice again.
Yeah,
And they're like, oh, okay, Bendis is leaving. All right, hey Joshua Williamson, you want to do Young Justice? Hey, who? Like, they should have just kept it going. Like, we should have had
with Connor Kent and all them. Yeah,
Yeah, we should have just had Connor, Bart, and Tim. We're like, hey, we don't know what to do with these characters from the '90s. People still like them though. The book sells to these people. Let's just keep it going.
And I'm never gonna equate them to Peter and Mary Jane, but people that like Tim Drake like him with Stephanie.
Yep.
Not Bernard.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's and when they wrote the story where Tim comes out to Stephanie and she gushes saying that's the bestest day ever for her because she now has a new gay bestie. Those are the kind of stories. Like I said, Megan Fitzmartin, what she did with the Young Justice characters and what she did with Tim Drake in particular, that's why it sometimes is very hard to support DC, who at their best is much better than Marvel at this point. But we talk about this all the time. I think there's a civil war going on at DC, obviously internally, where half of them want to do, Jeff Johns type really good comics. The other half just wants to be, LGBTQ activists.
Yep. And there's an easy way to fix Tim's problem. There really is an easy, super fix.
Say it's not Tim.
So, because if we look at the Tinian detective run, he dies, and he goes into the multiverse like Batman did, and then they had to go get him. They just got the wrong one.
Why do you say it's wrong? Because he's gay? Bigot.
No, they got some evil version of it from a different alternate timeline. I didn't say that. They brought the wrong Tim back to Earth Zero or whatever it's called now.
And before anybody attacks us, let me make something clear. Because I think they ought to do the same thing with John Kent. Not because he's gay, but because he was way more fun as a 10-year-old kid hanging out with Damian.
Super Sons was fun.
Yeah, but...
Well, and here's the thing. Like, I'm fine, like, with a character who's new, such as John Kent. Okay, yeah, he can be gay. He's never had a 30-year romantic on and off relationship with the same girl like Tim Drake.
It should have been more natural, though, leaning into it.
No, I agree. And, I really love Tom Taylor's Nightwing run. I think it's fantastic. It's the best Nightwing we've had since Chuck Dixon. And so I go, and I've read his Batman. This dude's a good writer. I have the DC app. I'm going to go read Son of Kal-El. I'm curious. In the sense, I'm curious. And I was talking with people in the JDA Discord. And this is where I realized people just weren't ready to have comic book conversations. And I said, hey, if we were to take a strainer and strain out the left-wing gay propaganda out of the Tom Taylor Superboy story, he knows how to write a superhero story.
But he didn't do it in Son of Kal-El because like I said, my problem with Superboy isn't or John Kent isn't that he's gay, it's that he's older. Because I
No, I agree.
but and also he wasn't just gay, he was an activist for just Tom Taylor's left-wing causes. And he was a self-insert without the sexuality for Tom Taylor.
It was like
that's what I'm saying here, Brain. Though, is that like when you take out the propaganda activist stuff, he knows how to write a paint by numbers superhero story.
that's what I say about Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka knows how to write a good story. It's just that
he's chosen not to any reason.
Yeah. Well, I read Lazarus, which has nothing to do with anything that DC. It's out there. It's Image book and all his own stuff thing.
That's his own,
yeah.
Stuff.
And there's none of this. At the same time, he wrote the last chapter of the Lazarus book. He did that. He was working on Lois Lane, a miniseries, the one about building the wall and like Lois going up to Batman, and be like is Aaron little boy. Here's the files you want. I'm like, what the no. You'd be like, you go talk to Alfred if you want to get those files. I'm busy.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It's like Rucka can write when he wants to write. Like the 2016 Wonder Woman, and that was fine. I had no problems with that. But then I guess it's like I don't know if it's just
Wonder
him.
Woman beforehand.
It's got to be DC pushing the narrative, and he just wants to make money.
I don't even think it's DC. I just think it's there's currently no direction at DC. I mean, there is now. There currently is direction, but in that post Trump election DC, they're like we've gotten past Rebirth, we're past Metal, we're in that 2017, 2018, 2019 DC.
Yeah,
there's no direction. Where Dan DiDio's getting fired, people are arguing about 5G. No one knows what direction DC's going.
Jim Ross is coming out of retirement to draw 5 pages per year.
Jim Ross?
Yeah, Jim Ross.
From WWF?
No.
Stone Cold?
Good God, that's Stone Cold's music.
No, what's his name? Jim
Lee.
Jim Lee, sorry.
Jim. It's like, good God, you broke him in half.
But hey, the reason I'm thinking of Jim Ross because I do watch Jim Ross has a podcast every morning. I watch on YouTube live. He does
his barbecue sauce.
And he does more. He does one. Yeah, his barbecue one. Yeah, and he does more. He's more cognitive than Jim Lee is, and when it comes to like just working, Jim Lee just collects a paycheck.
I'm really excited for Hush too. Like that. That's what's crazy is like I feel like DC's doing the they're doing member berries right now, and I'm very happy about these member berries. They're like, hey, you remember Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee? I'm like, I sure do. Like, hey, remember Scott Snyder doing the Batman book? I sure do.
I think what's really helping though is that they're pulling this out. And right now, if you're not, are you reading the Tim Sale one, the Batman Last Halloween?
I'm waiting for the trade.
Okay, really fun book, but it's like so. Jeff Loeb, that book's coming out right now. They're releasing. They have shows that they released. I was like last week was issue 3, and now they're talking about Jeff Loeb's going to be returning the Batman. It's just like, yeah. The member berries, as always, it's like, what the heck is going on here?
But we also have to remember Jeff Loeb left comics to go work on Marvel Television for a long time, and now he's not doing that. And the guy, I'm sure he's still had Batman stories in the tank from 20 years ago that he didn't get to do. So give them to me.
My thing is that will they be filtered, or are they going to let him write when he wants to write?
I think so.
I don't think anybody's going to tell. Nobody told Jeff Loeb what to do when he unceremoniously got Peter David kicked off as Supergirl 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I doubt if anything's changed since then. So I'm sure he's going to be free to do what he wants.
So like I said, DC, when it comes to names like Jeff Loeb, Jeff Johns, Jim Lee, Grant Morrison, like they just reprint those books over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so they know that Jeff Loeb's going to come and do Batman Hush 2. He's going to come and do Batman Last Halloween. They're going to be like, hey, you want to get up on Superman again? Let's get Ed McGuinness.
Dude, I would die if Ed McGuinness comes back and that. And just,
right.
You know what I would do? I would bring back Ed Benes, put him on a Birds of Prey book.
Oh, for the love of
It's like
I would even say Gale, do
if
that thing.
if you
Do
put if
that
you
thing that you know how to do.
yeah, like
Just do it again.
yeah.
Stop whatever you've been doing and do that thing that you used to do.
It's funny because you bring up Gale, and I from some people that I know have been reading the current X-Men titles they relaunched.
Mm-hmm.
The Gale Simone book is by far the best, even though it's not the greatest read, but it's like she can write if she wants to write, and just seems like why
Well,
not?
that's the thing too. Is like like my friend, he doesn't do the internet,
Yeah,
right? And so he just knows these by the my friend who has no idea about Gail Simone, he's like, yeah, she kind of started to suck around New 52, and I wasn't really enjoying her books anymore, so I
yeah,
stopped buying her books. It wasn't that like she became a political activist. She's like, oh,
no.
I didn't really care for her New 52 Batgirl. That kind of sucked.
There was a whole tonal shift, though. Like I said, right around 2016 when Trump won, and all of a sudden it's
Hmm.
like everything had to change as far as people could handle it, and then everybody started putting activism into their books, and it's like, I don't know. At this point, is it mandatory of what they want to have in these companies, or is it just the fact that everyone agrees there? So there's no mandatory thing. It's just the people who work there all are under the same hive think, you know.
Right.
I mean, my biggest thing is like, hey, if you're not making the money, why even be there then? Because like I always hear about, donate money to Vita because she's starving because she's not being paid. She needs money for food, medical bills, and stuff like this. Brian, aka Megs, or Massage or whatever it was, or just had a bottom surgery. Oh, I need money. I'm not. No one's hiring me. It's
That
like,
has nothing to me. That has nothing. Like
like
I still watch Zach, but it has nothing to do with comics.
I know, but I mean, like,
You know,
it's just like these people work in an industry where I doubt they get paid that much unless they're like
well,
Jeff
because they
Loeb.
suck at
Yeah,
writing comic books.
yeah.
That's why they're like, hey guys, you remember Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee? And the whole room erupts. They're like, we're doing Hush too, and they're like, I love that book from 21 years ago. Do it again. Yes, fuck it. Give it
Like I
to me.
said, if actually that's another thing too. The Robin just did a compendium, or I don't think it just came out.
Hmm.
So did
Yep.
you pick that? You get that one too?
Not yet.
Oh.
I have such a huge wish list on and stuff.
I saw the compendium and I was like, it probably doesn't cover all the floppies we have in those 3 long boxes.
Well, I have his entire run from Robin 1 to like up to Red Robin.
Yeah. So imagine like you just trying to pick him a compendium and like you can get rid of those flops.
Well, my big thing too is that DC's notorious for starting a series and not finishing it. So
it's like, I mean, well, once you get rid of those, I mean, I wonder how much you'll make off the floppies. If there's even interest for those anymore.
Have you ever seen people binding their own omnibus?
Yeah, I've seen that before.
I'm thinking about just doing that.
I mean, if the book's only $1, whatever a piece, and it's not really that valuable, go ahead,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just need to interject. So I want to interject some real quick.
Sure.
I'm watching UC Davis, Washington. There's a guy on one of the 2 teams. I'd see who it was. His first name is Great. Now, that's pressure to put on a son.
Jeez.
Just saying.
Right. Henry says, I thought the first Batman Hush was pretty simple-minded. Bruce Wayne's old college buddy's back in town. Who's this new villain? Hush. I wonder who they can be. Hello.
No,
Not everything needs to be some mind-blowing story.
Watch the movie. I thought it was Tommy too.
I was going to say that I was, Hush is not in my pantheon of greatest Batman stories, but it was very successful.
Good job.
Comics if comics needs to go through a nostalgia period to get back on track, then I'm all for it. I was very excited to hear that news. I was very excited to hear Rob Liefeld was doing another Youngblood. I didn't care about it 30 years ago.
Yeah,
but a lot of people did. And I hope that's
like no. What's
incredibly
important
successful.
is that people get excited and
Yeah,
people want to go to the shop and they want to buy comics.
I
Not
want
like
I want
like
people to go get excited about Young Blood. I'd much rather have that than going out and hiring someone to write a Hawk Girl series where the side character is wearing a shirt that says "Dyke, Dyke, Dyke, Dyke." I'm sorry, that's not comics. That's propaganda.
Right. Like I was bringing up, we don't know what to do with Tim. We don't know what to do with Connor. How about we get Peter David to come back and write Young Justice? How
And
about
then
that?
and
If
then
his
Jeff Loeb
health
kicks
would
him off.
permit,
What's that?
he's
And then
had a
Jeff
lot of
and
health
then,
problems
and then
recently.
and then Jeff Loeb says, no more. You're off the book.
Get
Well,
off
I would
that
say
book.
this. I'm kind of, it's interesting the pecking order because as far as writing skill goes, I don't think Jeff Loeb is anywhere near the level of Peter David.
Not at all.
No,
But when Jeff Loeb said, "I want to do this with Supergirl," they couldn't fire Peter David fast enough,
right?
and that's unfortunate because, like I said, that Supergirl series was wonderful, and he just brought back Kara Zor-El, but he brought back like the innocent Silver Age version of her, which I much prefer to this bad girl being corrupted by Darkseid in the first storyline. I love Supergirl pre-Crisis. I don't think
Michael,
she's been done
She's
right
dead.
since.
She's dead.
Although
Accept
I
it. She's
love
dead.
the Peter David series, that's not Supergirl.
Michael
But
Turner art though.
oh yeah, I mean that was fine. I've got
I
a
mean,
poster.
I was like, yeah,
I mean, it's the original Where Are Her Organs?
yeah.
That the poster I have. But I just they talk about not knowing what to do with a character.
Right.
DC hasn't known what to do with Supergirl in a lot, for a lot longer than they haven't known what to do with Tim Drake. And she's just like whatever idea the writer has, whether it's
Yeah, True
yeah,
Grit.
well, no, I mean, whether she's a boss bitch or a Red Lantern or whatever the version, it's unfortunate because I mean I said that the character's just
My favorite part of all the stories, all the Supergirl stories that come out, is when her and Power Girl are just sitting there eating cupcakes, talking.
Well, they did an issue of Supergirl where Supergirl and Power Girl were getting tattoos.
Well,
Yeah, I remember that the chance with the
Breen,
kryptonite
if you
thing.
kind of think about it, pretty much most female characters at DC, they don't know what the fuck to do with them. Donna
You're,
Troy, Wonder Woman,
you're not wrong.
Supergirl.
Yeah, bring
Still
back
not
Terry.
wrong.
That's what I say. I want Terry back with Wonder Girl.
Well, one of the problems with that is you're not allowed to draw. You're not draw. Well, you're not allowed to draw women sexy in most cases, but you're also not allowed to write women with superheroes with problems.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost all Mary Sue's at this point, and that's not just DC. That's Marvel also. You can't have them ever be in trouble. They can't ever be rescued by a man. And it's those new rules I talk about that make it
that's not
exceedingly
true.
difficult to.
The Dazzler one had issues until she was trained how to fight by Domino, and then all of a sudden she's able to take down any man whenever she wants to.
Who is that?
Dazzler in the new series.
Yeah, completely forgetting that Dazzler had become a very capable member of the X-Men in going all the way back to the 80s. But the only thing modern Marvel writers know about the 80s is that Storm had a mohawk. That's it.
I mean, that's all I know. Too,
I mean,
I can write for
honestly,
Marvel.
she waters plants too, right? She has a garden she waters. That's about it.
And someone said in one of the latest issues of X-Men, Storm said, "I dated a weatherman once. He broke up with me, so I ruined his career." That's not Storm.
I mean, Storm made out with Gambit. She dated Forge. Yeah.
But in all fairness, anybody that's come the last however many years, they're not going to top what Claremont was able to do. It'd be nice if it could get close, but I'm still waiting for that. And somebody let me know if they do. I might.
For me, like
check it out.
the biggest achievement for me for what I've read of the X-Men is the fact that Rogue and Gambit are finally married. Who cares about Kitty and Colossus?
Well, Kitty has been with her last boy. Trust me on that.
Was Peter right?
Well, I don't know, but now that she's come out,
Is she dating Magic?
No, but she was supposed to have a date with a woman in the first issue of E-Viewing series, and you know the rules. Once you go by, you're done. What's that?
Trump's in lead. 230, 205?
230 versus 205.
We'll wait to 3 a.m.
They've called California, New York.
They have called California.
Yeah, last week during the Indy races. No.
Yeah, and New York. That's the only way you get that. It's everything I'm seeing.
New York is covered.
Yeah, from what I'm understanding, it's pretty much over.
Nevada is the only one that Nevada, Alaska, and Hawaii have not been counted for.
I'm sure where I live, Wisconsin, will be tomorrow morning. They'll call.
No, they said like they're melting down at all the lefty networks. The Harris campaign has stopped giving comments. Those
cool.
are.
Well, we're gonna have a resurgence of Comicsgate. Hell yeah! Everyone's gonna be assholes to each other on the internet. Can't wait.
Oh man. Either way, it's like I'm looking at it's like comics aren't going to change it now. I can at least afford them now. If Trump wins and if he loses, well, they're not the quality may go up. I just can't afford it. so they get new stories that I like, and then I can't afford it now. Thanks.
Nope. Take that back. I'm back on the Harris train. Minnesota. Trump was up huge in Minnesota, and oops, now she's winning.
I don't care for Minnesota. I like large soda.
Speaking of, I've had too many, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, Minnesota and Michigan, I imagine we're gonna go towards her. Wisconsin, well, they've already caught like this morning. There was already like people are failing to in the city of Milwaukee itself. They had to recount everything because the person who put the absentee ballots in over basically forgot to seal one of them. So they're like, oh, we got to recount every single one of them. Like, really?
I'm about to go raise the price on my Tim Lim Trump books right now. Well, my girlfriend is. She's
I said, if Trump wins, that's great. I mean, for everything. And like, if he loses, it's like, man, that's gonna suck, But like I said, I'm waiting tomorrow because if I start thinking about it, I get anxious and then like I don't want any of that crap. Let me panic.
How about them funny books?
And it's like that's what it was tonight. Because and Glenzer, when the guys come here, he's like, "Thanks for being one of the 5% people on YouTube right now who aren't talking about politics."
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop. My bad.
All right. Well, no, my thing is like if I don't get anxious today. Today's my I voted. I did my part. It's in God's hands. I'm not gonna worry about it. Like it doesn't do me any good to get anxious over it. I'll tomorrow when I see the Trump
books. There you go. Stop worrying about it.
I might need some of those Nightfall ones though.
Oh, these ones?
Yeah. It's like I was going there. I was like, I forgot. I think I'm missing the last one, number 4 or something like that, or 3. I have like almost all of them. There's like one I'm missing.
Troika?
Probably. The one that's the hardest to find. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll borrow that soon, right?
Absolutely not.
I'll make my own copies on a copy machine.
I know. Look, I have this, but volume 4 goes for 200, and I'm just like trying to hunt it down in a shop.
I lucked out. I got it was a Captain Marvel Adventures number 76 or something like that for like $11. It was half off. but it was like really beat up. I was like, because I go for older books. I'm kind of less Marvel DC and going towards like the old Dell books, which are pricey as it is.
Being a boomer.
You know what though? I want the happiness. I'm tired of the drama in the Marvel DC. I got the Triangle Era. That was my big buy this year. Was Triangle Era.
Dude, I really want that book.
Yeah, it's worth it. I love it because I've been waiting for that. I'm like, my next goal is to get the Exile Compendium.
Well, yeah, and what's really nice too is if you have those John Burns,
Which I have those, the Man of Steels. Yep.
yeah, right. So if you have 1 through 4, then Exile is the next one,
Yep.
and then Triangle Era Volume 1, and then Triangle Era 2, and then Life and Death of Superman will be like 10 years straight of Superman, and so I'm just like, ugh.
Right? I've realized that I'm liking trades more.
Mhm.
Zach, who's usually on the channel with us, he's like, I can't afford everything every week, so I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for this. I'll wait for that to come in
Right.
trade. And I did that
Especially
for
on
one.
in stock, especially if you're a DC fan, 42% off.
I waited for a trade on one book, and then I realized, wait, this isn't even advertised in trade format whatsoever. It was an indie book, so I was like, fuck. So so my shop, I've been waiting on issue 1. It's called Sanction. It's through I think it's through Mad Cave.
Okay.
And it was like I was waiting for it like the come in, and like it hasn't come in. So that he was like, well, I'll get you cover B, whatever. Like Diamond says they have that. I'm like, whatever comes first, bro. Because I've read the story online. Obviously, I have to read pirate, but I collect physical as everything I have because I like keeping stuff in mint condition. Like I still have the Superman, it's still sealed and everything. So it's like if I ever decide to physical, it's there, it's mint. Or if I need to sell it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I've been raised that way. It's like if you can keep stuff in mint condition, like keep your stuff looking nice, it keeps its value.
Yeah.
But I mean, technically, if I could afford it, I'd buy 2 of those on the business. I can just read one, and keep the other one in nice condition.
There's a channel. He always says the word one to stock and one to rock, and I'm
Yep.
like, that's rich people stuff.
Yeah, right. Well, that was me with comic books back in the day when I started reading 2003. I would buy 2 copies. So I have my reader copy, and the other one just goes straight in there. So I'm like, the reader copy, like I wouldn't put it in a bag. I'm like, fuck it, it's not going in the bag. So it'd be like corners of mango and stuff. I'm like, my nice one's in the bag. If I ever want to have the nice one eventually, keep it nice. I don't know.
It's in the what?
What?
You said it's in the what? The bag?
In the bag.
How's that spelled?
BAG.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
I'm near Canada, so sometimes it goes like the bag.
You're in Canada?
I'm near Canada. I'm between.
Okay.
I'm southeastern Wisconsin right here. So basically, I talk to people who are from Chicago, and I talk to people who are coming down from Canada. So it's like we all intersect,
Yeah.
We talk
Yeah,
about
I listen back to myself and I'm like, I sound like a surfer. I don't even surf. I don't even know how to surf. Why do I sound like this?
You're still in California. You haven't moved out of there yet?
No.
Oh. I thought you were gonna leave it.
I don't know, I think it's more cool to be, like this and in California.
Be oppressed and white.
Yeah, and Christian and right wing, and then I'm just like I'm a contrarian by nature, and so I'm just like contraring all the things. In the state.
You have nice weather. Look at that down there. I'd say that California. So if you
Not where I live, dude. It's like
are you in northern?
Yes,
okay.
I live in the county of the Lake.
I was gonna say if you're in Southern California, it's gotta be nicer down there. No, but like
I live.
You get close to Oregon, Seattle, and all that crap, and you start getting like, hey, this is like winter weather.
I get 115 summers.
Yep.
And then I get 28 degrees winters.
28 degrees. That's warm. That's like by the time if we have 40 degrees up here where I live, it's like in January, it was the last year, I was wearing shorts. It's like because like I'd spent like a week with basically just having like -20. So like, and I can actually walk around. So uh what's going on here in the chat here? Brian, that's true. Generates some excitement around the industry. Agreed. Much needed archive first. It seems that half of the stuff looks like a little too manga for me. It's not my thing. If other people like it, good for them. Honestly, with what Robert Kirkman's doing with Invincible, putting it into manga format size, the guy is like,
And it's
I'm
the same
I'm
artist
jealous.
for a very long time.
I mean, I bought the compendiums, the 20th anniversary collection compendiums. I bought those. They look nice, sharp. But like, then he's still releasing it again in like another trade format plus the manga size formats. It's like, I mean, he realized like, why not? If it's with the show, it's hot right now. He's, The Walking Dead is being released in the deluxe format, color format.
Mm-hmm.
I'm collecting that still because I've never collected the black and white one. And I
Well,
don't know
what's
if
good about too the image stuff is those guys are like for the popular image books, they never seem to go out of print.
what?
You're like, oh, I haven't read this for 5 years. I wonder if I can go find it. Oh, cool, it's still available.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Well, I mean, it depends on what book you're looking for. Some of those early, like Howard Chickens, like Breen, I think you were gonna send me some of those. I don't know if you did or not. They were the American.
Did he not send them to you?
I don't think I got them.
American Flag?
No, American Century.
Yeah, I don't think I
Yeah,
ever got them.
I got you the whole set.
Yeah, I don't think I
Well, I
got
haven't
them.
seen them in an auction. I don't know why he hadn't sent them to you yet.
Yeah, so maybe they're lost in storage. Because those like the books like that, I've come across like the trades, every once in a while at half price books, but like I've never seen them at my comic book stores, And for the longest time, the Epic collections of Spider-Man trades are not even on the shelves at my shop. And
Oh yeah, you were saying earlier about the epics. I wanted to
yeah.
explain how that worked. So they don't the way they do is they do 2 Spider-Mans a year,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a newer collection and an older collection. So think of it like they did like volume 1 and then volume 20, and then they did volume 2 and then volume 19.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I currently have 22 Spider-Man volumes. And so they keep reprinting one because people have been trying to get with great power.
Okay.
So like they've been reprinting the Ditko ones pretty consistently because
It
they
just
go out
seems
of
like every year I have this. There's the same one being reprinted again. I'm like, really? Didn't they come out last year? Like, a lot of them have like the 20. This is the 2024 edition. So, oh, he went black. Oh my god!
So I did what now?
You disappeared, and all of a sudden your screen went black. Your little camera.
I got a message and I clicked on it and then I
I
realized
was like, your whole entire like the camera went black. I'm like, you turned his camera off, and it wasn't even an orb or picture. It was just like complete black. I was
like
like,
this.
you better like get darker though. But I was like, uh-oh. So I don't know, like I said, like it just seems like the same trades are getting reprinted over and over again. To the point where I'm just like, I'll just wait for the compendium. If they ever do a compendium.
So what you're saying with like ASM, like you just
work.
I don't know if they will.
Because I have them on CD-ROM, dude. I got the 40th anniversary collection stuff. So I got like 1 through 600.
Okay.
I have those. So I have the ones I actually care about. Right. And I have two different versions, So
I tell people if they want to start reading Spider-Man, I would say I always tell them just start before Civil War and you're okay.
Yeah. Essentials, if you can find those still.
Those are gone.
Yeah, I have.
And those only go up to 1 to 10, and so it only goes up to 200.
I have 1 through 7. I don't have all of them, but I mean, like, yeah, but I was like, I remember when those went away, and all of a sudden, for the longest time before the Epics came out, they're like, my shop had nothing. I was like, and I call them the big box store because they're the ones that sells manga plus everything else, board games, and they have a whole wall of just trades. And like, I was like, man, there's like nothing here. And it drives me nuts because I was missing. I was gonna get another one, Punisher ones. I'm missing one of them. And I was like, oh, I didn't have the money at the time. I was like, oh, $25. I can't afford that, whatever. And then I come back and I was like, it's gone. And I'm like, where's it? It's like, what's out of print? Like, out of print, that's like a death sentence for me buying something because it's like going to go from like $25 to $200, depending what it is, especially the essentials.
Yeah. That's how I feel. Like I have the Tom King deluxe editions of Batman, and if you look them up on eBay,
Yeah,
people are selling all 6 of them for like $1,000. Like what? Like
Wow.
like one, who's gonna drop a G on 6 Batman books, especially written by Tom King? Like
yeah.
like $1,000 on 6 trade paperbacks or hardcovers.
I had that Captain America shield that's in it. That they had the replica. It was like 75th anniversary metal one. They were selling at GameStop and all stuff. I paid like 200 something for it. The last time I looked, a couple years ago, it was up to $2,000. People were trying
Sell
to
that
buy
thing, dude.
I'm not. I don't want to get rid of it. I like it, because I know if I sell it, I'll never get it back again.
You don't need it, dude. Just you need more comics.
I have plenty of comics.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I've got the Robin packs and all stuff. Back in the day, Chuck Dixon ones. They had the Robin 1, 2, and 3s.
Mm-hmm.
So I have stuff like that. So, but I don't know. I've been getting more trades like you have been.
I love trades. I feel like
I just don't have the fancy bookshelves like you do. Where am I going to? Boxes.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I like them because you can sit there, you can binge read stuff. But I mean, I've been reading on Comixology too because we have some of the older stuff like Grady Nights. I love it because I have a giant freaking computer monitor, so it's nice. I can just read like that,
But I normally just like turn on this light right here.
Oh.
And it's like, I don't know, there's something about that like small
Well, the
lamp
way
in
you're
a
sitting,
comic.
if I were to read a comic like that, I'd be out in like 5 seconds.
That's the only way I read is like.
I can't lean because I'll be like, all right, I'm like gonna rest my eyes. I'm reading like this, and then
I'll be like right here with this omnibus.
But yeah, the omnibus, dude. There's no way I'd be out of oxygen. Just crush my chest, just leaning it on me.
I like to put a pillow on my lap, and then just plop it right here and just read.
Right above the crotch, so you don't crush it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. Breen, how do you read comic books?
How?
No, Breen.
With glasses?
Yeah.
Do you have a preferred location? Do you read them just on your couch only? Or
yeah, mostly.
Yeah. Let's go to chat here. Since you're all talking politics, I went to a popular betting site. Kamala is plus 1,300. Why would they let me bet 100 and win 1,300? Looks like he's gonna win.
No, he's not.
Henry says, just for the hell of it, please give me your version of the Sinister Six, but you can't pick any of the original villains. If not, don't sweat it.
Just make them all women.
What do you mean? You don't? They did that already.
I know. There they go. There's the new
female Beetle, the female Electro. It's like Sandwoman, probably.
Boy, that would be tough.
So you can't have Sandman, you can't have Electro, you can't have Green Goblin because he was on it. Doc Ock,
all the green ones.
I don't think Green Goblin was part of the original Sinister Six.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It's an annual
Mysterio.
Spider-Man #1.
Yeah. Trying to think. Well, Shocker wasn't part of it, was he?
No.
No. So I'd throw a Shocker on there. Hobgoblin. I'd throw in there too.
Just give me 6 Hydro-Mans.
No, it was not. It was Mysterio, Craven, Doc Ock, Sandman, Electro, and Vulture.
I know.
Green Goblin was not original member.
Fine. Whatever, Brain. You think you're all smart.
No, I'm looking at the cover.
So, Rhino, Hydro-Man, the Spot, because...
No. Okay. The Spot?
Rhino, the Spot would be great.
So, Rhino, Hydro-Man, the Spot.
A Shocker would be, because he's got longevity.
Yep.
I don't like Shocker.
I mean, the only reason he got defeated because Spidey had the Venom symbiote on him. You know, otherwise he's. I don't want to put Carnage on anything. I hate Carnage.
Wow, there's a version. When I was looking it up, though, there's a low grade copy for only $350 of annual #1.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's he at? What's his name?
Who?
Hold on. I forget his name, but I'm looking through his issue.
There's the Carrion guy.
Gibbon. The Gibbon. I'm putting the Gibbon on there. Gibbon, Rhino, Hydro-Man, the Spot.
The Rhino actually was the Rhino in the cartoon series was on the Sinister Six. Remember that, the animated series?
Who's the dude with the suction cups? Is that Tarantula? No, Tarantula is the one who's.
Tarantula has the feet, the stingers on him.
He's the one doing karate kicks, right?
Yeah, he has a red suit with a bandana.
Who's the one with like the green and purple gas mask with big suckers on his hands?
Prowler?
Not Prowler, no.
Suckers on his hands. Mysterio, I know Mysterio has the globe with the purple cape and green.
He's like there's a handful of Stan Lee characters that like they just never reappear, or they do
Beetle.
Beetle. There it is. Yes.
and now that I think about it, yeah, the original Beetle had the giant suction cup in there. Yeah.
But you know what he went on to be though. He was in the Thunderbolts. He was one of the characters that turned good.
Bro, I never read that shit.
Neither did I.
You should have.
That's a Zach question.
The original Thunderbolts series was fantastic.
The whole series is ruined for me.
Yeah, you spoiled it for us. But Scorpion. Yeah, easy. Yeah.
I like Scorpion. Like, I like most of the Spider-Man villains that don't have a symbiote suit.
Pretty much.
Like, anytime someone starts talking symbiotes with me in Spider-Man, I check out of the conversation. I'm like, you're not actually a Spider-Man fan. I'm out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't mind Venom at first, but unfortunately he came along at a time when every popular character was overused to the point to where they all became Stairway to Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
No stairway. Denied.
And,
it's so here's my Spider-Man check out of the conversation with the person. They talk about Peter Parker in high school, or they bring up Venom. I'm like, you clearly know nothing about Spider-Man. I'm out. They're like, what? I'm like, Spider-Man hasn't been in high school since 1965, and he was created in 63.
That's not true. In 2006, he was in high school again, and Uncle Ben was in the series for 6 issues, and he had a ponytail.
That was 2001.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
It felt like 2006 for how long that series went on.
It was 2000, but yeah. But that's my big thing. I'm like, they're like, yeah, because Spider-Man's a high school kid. I'm like, bro, he hasn't been in high school since 1965.
Well,
What are you
wait,
talking
no,
about?
they're talking about Miles.
That's not Spider-Man.
It's like,
Just like I don't call Connor or John Kent Superman, I still call him Superboy.
yeah. Do you know that Miles is black? He's Latino.
He's Latinx.
Black tanks. Latinx?
He's Kamala Harris colors, dude.
Oh my gosh! Did you see that? You're not on social media as much or anymore, but
I'm on Facebook and Instagram
so
looking at cats.
somebody took the Spider-Man game with Miles Morales game, and they put took the rainbow flag that was in the game, modded it, put the
I
American
saw
flag on
that.
it.
Yeah,
They're
switched it back to American flags.
and they're so triggered. How dare you? So I was like,
How dare you put American flags in a game that takes place in America?
right. The game had fun fighting techniques, but like some of the side missions were so activist.
The first one, PS4 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I playing as Mary Jane in the Spider-Man game? Why is
Because
Spider-Man in the room and I'm sneaking around taking pictures?
they make it more challenging for you.
No, dude, I'm not here to play Lois Lane, aka Mary Jane. I'm not here to play Mary Lane. I'm here to play fucking Spider-Man. Let me swing on a building.
And then I think you also had to play as Miles Morales
Yeah,
sneaking
you had
through.
to. Yeah, they were like, "Hey, you want to play as the supporting cast and sneak around?" I'm like, "No."
I still can't believe they haven't made an open world Spider-Man game where you can actually have co-op. Like they had this second game with Miles Morales. Why don't they make it where someone plays Miles, like player 2, press start? Like, how hard is it to do that?
I think I want a Spider-Man game where the objective is to take pictures of yourself.
Oh, the OnlyFans meme. Like they're holding touching hands, like Peter Parker takes pictures of himself. OnlyFans girls take pictures of themselves. They're
Like,
holding hands.
no, but like to progress. Like, I want it to where you like have to go on, like, you got to go to the Daily Bugle as your home thing, and then he's like, Parker, I need pictures of the Hulk. Go to Canada, and then he's like, okay. He gets on a plane, and then you go fight. Like, just go through the comic.
But you have to get certain poses to unlock achievements.
Yes.
It's like Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, Parker Man Snap, dude. I'm there. Give it to me.
Right. And then we'll step it up, make it more realistic. So you have to somehow make enough money so you can buy food. Otherwise, if your energy gets too low, you can't take good pictures.
Yeah, you got to keep. You gotta take pictures so you can buy prescriptions for Aunt May, and then if they're like, sorry, you didn't make rent, and then Aunt May dies, it's your game over. Hell yeah!
It's like no, the game.
I can make video games.
The game over would be Aunt May still alive. The goal is to not make it up. Oh my gosh!
I want the ability to slam the door in Mary Jane's face when she says, "You've hit the jackpot." I'm like, get out of here, you crazy bitch! Knocking on my door saying random things. What are you talking about?
Have you watched our readings where the older ones we have Anna Watkinson? Like Brain just reads her as a drunk old lady. Well, is it Watkins or Watkinsons? I've heard it.
Watson, but it's Watkins. We changed it to.
Yeah.
Who changed it to Watkins?
We did.
Oh, you guys are wrong.
Well, that's the point.
Okay.
We change everything.
So he whenever he voices her, she's always looking for a drinky poo. She's like snookered.
I read her as a drunk.
And Aunt May basically also talking about drinking too, and Peter's just like, dear God, just die.
I just read an issue of Spider-Man where Peter's like, I gotta get home to Aunt Max, and I'm like, this is a 50-year-old comic that's been reprinted how many times?
There was a reprint of Iron Man where they called him Anthony Edward Blake. So, because Marani is a big Iron Man fan, I just say like, oh yeah, I love Anthony Blake. He's great. It's Stink Industries. But Peter Palmer, Superman.
No.
I like it when they butcher the names, and it's not even in the reprint. It's just because the reprint is because that's how originally was printed. You know.
Mm-hmm. It's very
Why not?
frustrating to me because it's like, bro, how do you not fix it? Like they go and recolor the thing, and no one goes, "Oh, hey, look what I caught here."
Do you
Like,
think
oh
they have
crap!
editors? Hey, they don't have editors at these companies. They
I
have
know,
Nick Lowe working there.
but that's the thing is like they take these books from the 70s and then go, "Oh, hey, we got to take this well, so we got to recolor it so it looks good on these new paper."
Yeah, and like I said,
And the
these people there,
colorist just doesn't notice it. It just
like I said, the people who are working on these reprints probably have never read the issues before, so they have no idea. Like, oh, it's is Anthony Edward Blake? Okay, that sounds right. Because they probably have no idea. Don't read comic books. There it is a public or a company they send it off to. It does it for them, and doesn't. They don't do the research, just like the writers. So, it's like, yeah, that Spider-Man book. What's Spider-Man? You mean Superman? Oh crap!
Why does this Superman have no cape? And he got a mask on. Whatever.
And then confused them. They had to do the amalgam books.
You seen that? You seen that Omni?
Yeah.
The thing's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get it.
It's too much, too expensive.
I just not into the mashup stuff. It's like
I'm not either.
Like Spider Boy, he has a web gun, but does he fly though? If he doesn't fly, he just swings from a web pistol.
What difference does it make? It's a one-off.
Exactly. That's why I don't get it. It's a one-off, but it's a dumb one-off.
According to you.
The best part about that book is the outfit of his costume. That's about it.
They're like, oh, that's fun to look at.
Exactly.
For 20 pages.
Ron Friends' art in Spider-Man. I honestly don't know what issues Ron Friends was drawing. I don't.
The 260s, 270s, probably into the 280s before.
I mean, I pretty much like it all.
I prefer Ron Enemies. That's my guy.
when I get to like JRGR, that's when I kind of like. I notice the art quality starts dropping.
Well, he was on it before that, and I don't think his art in Amazing Spider-Man was fine.
Well, it
didn't diminish until
but I mean,
long after that.
You could see it starting to some of the cracks.
But hey guys, it's getting late over here, so I'm gonna get ready for bed.
Getting late over there by you? What?
Yeah,
Brandon's like it's after midnight.
For you, but yeah, for me it's like 9:30.
It's 11:22 here.
But you gotta you work first shift.
I get to work at 7 a.m.
No, you'd be fine. You're on the West Coast.
Maybe you'd like to have some time between the likes of us and Sleepy Bye. So
yes,
Jared's glad you came on.
Yeah,
good catching up.
Good to be seen, I guess. As the people of the left say, like being seen.
Well, I'm glad for the proof of life.
Yeah,
so
I feel very seen.
So people are wondering if you died or not. They'll see this channel next to never.
No one's gonna see this channel. I don't even know what channel I'm on right now.
Neither do I.
Sick. All right. Well, it was good to see you guys.
All right. Take care, Jared.
Do this again.
All right, guys. We're gonna end it here. We've been going for 3 hours. V loves to poke fun at me. The obvious era. And we got Molten Man's Stegron. I forgot about him. White Dragon. I know Red Dragon. Man Wolf, Cobra, and Tarantula. Venom is a franchise these days or a gift from Oprah. That is true. You get a Venom. All right. Is he still going? Is he going strong over there?
He sure is.
You gonna stop over there?
I don't know. I'm gonna check. I might check on a little, non X related, coverage.
I might just. Wait, yeah. No, it says he's done.
Oh, he must have just ended because I looked 5 minutes ago and he was still on.
Oh, maybe he saw something and he just got depressed and said, "I'm done."
Well, she's gonna win. Yeah, they've. I mean, a huge lead in Minnesota conveniently disappeared. Their trucks with or vehicles with California plates are bringing in votes to Michigan, and they're
Jeez.
they're going to find the 220,000 votes they need to win Pennsylvania. So it's over. She won, but the Republicans have the Senate and hopefully the House.
All right, there goes. Well, let's hit this little thing ring again one more time. If you guys haven't done so, please click like, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you have the money still, go to Ko-Fi.com and help us keep the channel running here. All right, guys. We'll see you on Thursday. The best of the week. And thank you guys for sticking around. Later, guys.
Good night, kids.